Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
All right.
So let's see. In the side chat, we've got Mark Caesar, Greg Hartwick, and Demon Orb so far.
Demon Orb? Hey, that guy owes me money.
I'm pretty sure Greg owes me a taco.
Don't drop your tacos. That'll be bad.
Well, what's wrong with dropping your tacos? Get 10 seconds?
Yeah, except if they fall apart and you gotta sweep them up.
Oh, you're a little too proud to go down on your hands and knees and eat it right off the floor, huh?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
So other than the standard beef, what kind of tacos do people like?
The combo ones with the soft taco and crunchy taco together.
Oh yeah, those were good.
I like my tacos like your basic fast food, pissant restaurant kind of tacos, but they got to be on cornmeal tortillas.
Yeah.
Taco Bell tacos.
Yeah, so they don't come on corn.
They're in corn.
Yeah, there are actually categories for that. There is Mexican food, and there is Tex-Mex, and there is Taco Bell. They are three completely separate categories.
Yes.
well, if 90s science fiction has taught us anything, is that Taco Bell will be the only restaurant in the world at some point.
It will.
Of course.
It's on the way.
Well, not anymore. That would have only worked when they were owned by Pepsi.
Can you just imagine a Big Mac taco?
Actually, Burger King tried to sell tacos for a while. It didn't last very long. They didn't go over.
Well, those Dorito shell tacos were pretty good.
And we've got a stool.
Stool, baby.
Yes, we do.
Still.
Well, yes, that's a different sort of taco. I enjoy those too.
I'll mention to people my new avatar that you're seeing for the first time today, folks. This is was generated and given to me by somebody who knows how to use those AI things that I don't. And she fed it a couple of my other avatar pictures and told it to make another avatar of me, and this is the closest it got. Although I don't mind looking 14, 15 again.
Yeah.
I would have guessed early 20s, but okay.
That's interesting how that changes, doesn't it? Young people look so much younger today than they did 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Well, all around, just a lot more awareness, I think, of general health and that.
I think I looked old even when I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah. I was consistently taken to be 10 years younger than I ever was.
5-10 years younger is my usual. Though I don't know now since I got the gray streaks in my hair.
So did anybody get turned into a zombie by that test yet?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that when I came in the room, I was staggering a little bit and shuffling, and then my left eye fell out. So I think I'm on the way.
Brains.
That just happens to me when I have too much whiskey. That's why I wear the glasses. It keeps the eyes from completely popping out. They bounce off the lens and go back in.
Well, it was too late for mine. It fell all the way out, hit the ground, but it tasted pretty good.
Jeff is 83. So yeah, if we guess him to be 10 years younger, he must be
So
93.
I'm still young. I'm still younger than Stool then.
I don't know how old Stool is.
Yeah. Let's just say when he was at school, they didn't have history as a subject.
Oh, okay, all right.
Nobody knows how Stool is. He was born before calendars were invented.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I think I'm not doing too bad for my age. At least I've still got all the original parts, which is more than anyone else in my family could say. I'm the only one who made it past 50 without having to have a joint replaced.
Okay.
Really, it takes you that long to get through one?
Well, half I hit it at a time, lay it down for a couple hours, come back later. It can last a long time. At least somebody caught that joke, eh?
Yep.
I caught it.
Okay, Andrew says Starry AI was recommended to me as an AI generator for dummies.
Well, I assure you it's smarter than me.
Okay, Stool, we know you're not 27, and having all your own hair in a bag doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Stool has all his own hair, just not necessarily on his head.
And the harmonica man.
Hey.
Sorry,
So-
folks, I'm kind of low energy today.
It's okay. The AI I've been messing around with is from the site Dezgo. DEZGO.
I haven't played with any of them yet, but I suppose I should. It would probably be a good way for making thumbnails. I could just give it whatever holiday for a prompt and see what it comes out with.
Yeah, let's see what it does.
So, Andre says Starry was recommended for dummies, so I suppose I should try that one. I need something that's really simple because I'm not good with any of the computer apps, figuring out how they work. I'm so old I remember when they were called programs. So, Jeff, how's life on the island?
Do you really want to know?
Have you delivered any explosives to any members of the government?
Don't answer that.
Oh, good luck. I
didn't say he was the
Let's
one who
just
sent them.
say-
Just
let's
his
just
job to
say
deliver the
this.
packages.
We'll just say this: the Conservative Party have been having their annual conference stroke rally this past week, and It's they do an awful lot of immigrant bashing, and that's when they can pull themselves away from trans bashing for 5 minutes. That seems to be the they're catching up with the fucking GOP for insanity now.
I was gonna say it sounds like the same playbook the Republicans are using.
Yeah, they're bloody getting there, I tell you.
Yeah, that when they're not talking about the trans or the gays, they're talking about the brown people swimming across the border.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's the stop the boats is the one we always hear. It's stop the boats coming across the English Channel.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And it's like it's like I love the way they're there in the rally. We're the party that's going to bring about change, and we're like, you fuckers, what have you been doing for the last 13 years? Then you've been in government.
Well, that's what came up with when I put in the National Hot Dog or National Taco Day into the AI prompt.
Yeah, that looks good. I'm not quite sure what the drink there is supposed to be.
Looks like curdly milk, chocolate milk. But those aren't corn tortillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the crunchy ones anymore. I have to do the soft ones. I kind of miss the crunchy foods.
I've always ordered the soft instead of the crunchy because I just hate the mess that tacos are.
Yeah, the crunchy ones can break up on you and then the stuff falls all over the place. Last night I wound up using the leftover taco meat and made some burritos. We'd had tacos a couple of days ago and I still had some taco meat in the fridge.
Wait a minute, you can use taco meat for burritos?
Why not?
Holy cow, I thought there were rules. Damn it.
No, I just mixed up the taco meat and mixed up some refried beans with some more taco seasoning and just rolled them up with some rice.
Works.
Yeah, my problem is I always overfill them, so then I can't really close them.
Well, you could always open them back up and take some out.
Theoretically, but, you know, it just makes a mess when eating them, but that's all. And, of course, cheese. You've got to have cheddar cheese on them.
Oh, definitely.
So did everybody's phone screech a little while back?
Yep. A little early from what I was told it's going to be, though.
Now that they've released that signal, are you starting to feel ill from Marburg virus or something, zombified or anything like that?
Brains.
I was expecting it, so I put my phone on airplane mode so it didn't make the noise.
Well, then you'll just have to be one of our servants.
No, if you're all zombies, I've got to board up the building.
You can't
Just
stop.
bunker down in my fortress.
You can't stop Nazis. You know that.
Look, we'll just take all the zombies, lock them in the Republicans, and they'll starve to death.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Soft Roll always prefers to do. Just use a handful of the tortilla chips and just make salad instead.
I have better taste than this, it would seem, but I really like Taco Bell's taco salad.
Yeah.
I kind of like their nachos.
Yeah, I like Taco Bell. Their stuff's generally good.
I like Taco John's better though. I never ran into them until I moved up here, and
I try,
they're better. They have better quality, foods in their concoctions, and they don't seem to be scrimping, making the dish smaller every 6 weeks to increase their profit. It tastes better, but it is spicier.
Yeah, a bit of trivia I ran across. Apparently, the phrase Taco Tuesday was trademarked by Taco John's like in 1997.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
So they actually have a trademark on that in every state except New Jersey, because in New Jersey, a local restaurant had already trademarked it.
Then you can't. Two people can't trademark the same thing.
They can't trademark the same thing in the same state. Trademarks go state by state. They're not federal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, trademarks are actually more than just words. Trademark has to do with the actual design of your logo and everything from size, the font, coloring, positioning, all that kind of stuff.
Not always. A trademark can be just a name or a phrase.
Yes, it can, but
Yeah,
it's usually the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the phrase and stuff isn't too generic.
Like, you mean like Taco Tuesday?
Well, they got it before it was popular. And we have Captive Desk and Skid Crasher. Hey, Skids.
Hey.
And thank you again. Beginning of every month, Skid sends me a few bucks on PayPal.
Hi, Skitsy.
So Skids is still my largest donor.
Next week I turn 44.
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. This kind of happens.
So I'm still the youngest person in the stream, just about, but
No way.
yeah, I turned 44 in December.
Oh, I thought you were like 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can just send you a Christmas present and a birthday present.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's a ripoff, especially when you're a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel really bad for the ones that were born on Christmas.
Yeah.
I did know someone actually, so who was born Christmas Day.
What do you mean you can't post on Vice Rhino's channel?
Would they block you or something?
Yeah.
Who did what?
In PNW, we have Taco Time. They're known for how fresh everything tastes. Before I had to go on a special diet, they were my favorite place to eat. Now Chipotle has like one or two things I can have.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Chipotle, are they the ones that had all the scandals a few years ago, like with the food? Is that them?
They've had some scandals involving the way they treated some of their workers.
All right. Okay.
But, Sloth Girl loves Chipotle.
They weren't.
I can't have it because they used that.
They weren't the ones who had like the like poisoning or like really bad food stats. Wasn't them then? Or I'm thinking of someone else.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't recall at all. No recollection.
Yeah.
They were the one that were owned by McDonald's for a little while, weren't they? Am I right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't eat Chipotle because the rice always tastes soapy.
Oh, they put cilantro and everything.
Well, I put cilantro in the rice,
Yucky.
and that was before I knew about that thing with cilantro. It was like every time that we ordered it, I was complaining because I thought somebody hand rinsed the dishes properly or something because it always tasted like dish soap.
Yeah, that was weird when cilantro was just starting to show up as a popular thing for American foodies, and all of us who've got the gene, said, "Well, what do you want like this for? It tastes like fucking soap." And everyone's, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." We do know what we're talking about. I'd rather have parsley, anyways.
Yeah, it's a shame because Chipotle actually makes some good stuff. It's just you can't get a bowl of anything without the rice.
I should plant more of my Japanese parsley.
Japanese parsley?
Yeah, it tends to be a bit more heat tolerant. So kind of tastes pretty much just like parsley. It's good for fillers. Oh, and we lost Jenny.
I never much saw the use of parsley. It seems it always sits on the plate. Nobody really eats it.
I usually add it to soup, the Japanese parsley to soups and stuff to it just kind of bulk things up a little bit. Has some vitamin content to it, so
Yeah,
That was
I've
pretty easy.
only really sort of seen parsley as garnish. So
Yeah. That seems to be the way I always see it used. And I had heard that the idea was you were supposed to eat the parsley last, because it was supposed to neutralize bad odors in your breath from other things you ate.
I don't know. Never heard about that.
well, nobody really knows because I don't know anyone who actually eats the stuff.
Yeah, no, that's just what I read somewhere. I don't really know how true it is. Oh. So we're having a shakeup in Congress.
Yeah, what exactly happened yesterday? That someone got. I didn't see all of it. Was it yesterday or the day before? Someone got kicked out of the house or something, and
Well, rather suddenly last night, they voted to replace the Speaker of the House.
okay. Oh, it was the actual speaker.
Yep. And then the new acting Speaker gave Pelosi one day to remove everything from her office.
Okay.
So, yeah, it happened so fast, I don't quite understand what went on either. Oh, yeah, Jenny should be here for that. She seemed to know a bit more about it. I expect she'll be back in a minute after she straightens out her whatever's going with her phone. So, Mage, how's the puppy doing?
Pretty good. The new leash is working out pretty well for her.
Hey, Beck. Why don't you join in here? Yeah, you'd said you got the leash that attaches at your hips, so you got your hands free.
Yep, and the leash has 2 handholds too, so I can choke up on the leash more easily. if I need to. She seems to be, I don't know if it's the bungee cord or material for it or what, but she seems to be more responsive to the leash as well.
Well, with the bungee cord, she can, feel when it gets tense easier, I think.
Maybe.
Oh. So I should be getting my van back in about a month.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I still have to figure out how to pay for it. But apparently my brother's done very well on finding most of the parts in the junkyard, so used parts instead, new parts is managing to keep the price down to about half what the shop here wanted for it.
Well, looking into the whole parsley thing, it seems it's mostly just a folklore about it being able to freshen your breath.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know if there was really any backing to that. Oh, wrong post. Okay, so Andrew, what were they voting on that Pelosi didn't answer? I don't know what they voted on today.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look into the political news today yet, so.
Yeah, neither have I, but I have to admit Pelosi had not really been doing anything anyway, so was pretty much useless in that position.
Yeah, I'm not much help to you. I've got such a gut full of UK politics. I can't even keep on top of American politics as well.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's just getting more insane here. But it's always a thing I've noticed though with the Conservative Party here that whenever they're have had problems where they're divided over something, that's when they start getting at their absolute nastiest. Because they feel then that they've got to rile up against someone then, to the common enemy sort of thing. But they're going full on fucking culture wars and shit with the stuff there,
Oh, that prime minister of yours?
Yeah.
That son of a bitch has got to go. Maybe you should start shacking up with Vivek over here. They can just be a happy little couple since they're both so hate-filled.
Well, we just... Trump... I mean, yeah, well, it'd be about another year or so before we get a chance to actually get them out of, I'd have thought. But we don't... Charles, we do not want any of the other bloody conservatives there either.
Well, I was absolutely... Oh, I don't know. Astonished is not the right word. I was kind of like dumbfounded that he actually said up in some frickin' speech thing he was doing that transgender is just this non-existent thing, that it's just a fantasy, and these kind of.
Oh yeah, they've all been doing it. They've all been doing it throughout this conference, Jenny.
All of the lies that have been generated by the GCs and the TERFs, and over here the Nazis are becoming normalized. Yeah. That it's just this stuff is true. We say it because it's true, and everybody knows it. Because everybody can repeat it, so it must be true.
Yeah, they say it enough times it becomes true.
It's the Goebbels technique, and It's just really tragic.
Okay, Jeff, what's this about a meat tax?
Oh God, I haven't. You know, that's the one. That's the one I haven't really looked at so much, to be honest. But it's insane. It's just so insane at the moment. Between them that going back, just abandoning everything that they were going to do and whatever. It's just. I mean, one of the things that they were supposedly going to do was actually ban conversion therapy. There was actually going to be a ban. They suddenly U-turned on that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just
Hello.
there's a shitload of science that indicates just or proves how fucking bad it is.
Oh yeah, well this is the other thing that this is on one of their actual campaign posters about reclaiming science from like the woke people. I wish I was making this shit up, Jenny. I really do.
Would you do me a favor and try to get some photographs or images of these various posters and things? Real good ones, so that if you take a picture, you're right straight onto it, not angled off some direction. Because I have a need for things like that right now for something I'm doing.
Let me have a look.
Wait, what did you say you needed?
They're hate posters from Britain.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the crap their political party is doing over there about mostly trans, but LGBT people in general.
Yeah. Interesting thing happened today. I went for an interview, got a call not right after I got home, offering me a job. So then she's talking about, we gotta come see the nurse. They'll check and make sure you're not like colorblind or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm going to work for a hospital. So, of course, they can do a once over on me, right?
Right.
And she was like, and of course, there's your analysis if you have a cannabis card. And I was like, you're allowing that? And I was like, I do have a cannabis card. And then she goes, okay, we'll bring it. And I was like, oh, no, it's expired. So I got to get it fixed in the next 2 weeks. But the cool thing is I don't have to hide it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. How long it stays in your system that would still show up on a drug test?
Pot can show up as a metabolite. Pot can show up as a metabolite for a month or so.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the person. Okay, first of all, a pot is held in the more fat cells you have, the more THC you're going to hold in your system. Don't know why. That's just the way it is.
It's because it's a fat soluble lipid. That's why.
Okay, and
Anyways,
it shows up.
So I knew this guy that he could smoke and flush his system out in like 2 weeks because he was skin and bones. This boy had no fat on him. Like he didn't even have an ass. But with me, as frequently as I smoke, it would take me about 45 days to really clean out. That's about typical, month and a half. Jenny's right.
Okay, it shows up in a urine test. Does it show up in a blood test?
If it shows up in urine, it should show up in blood.
Only but they'll only find that if they look for it. That's not a typical blood test.
That's what I thought. That I'd only see
it's
it.
Not in it's not in a CBC or a lipid panel or a hormone panel or a thyroid panel. It's a whole separate thing they'd have to test for, which they only do that if like you come in from a car accident and they draw blood and do a drug panel on you just to see what's in your system so they don't kill you. Like then they'll look for it. But typically they don't normally look for that in blood. It's usually just urine. It's faster and easier. So I was just amazed that it's a hospital. It's a Catholic hospital, Christus St. Vincent. And they allow people to work there. And because, I mean, everybody should here, unless you're in like doing construction, where you could get hurt or something if you're smoking pot during the day. But most places, I don't know why they don't. Most people don't go to work high. They smoke it when they go home.
Yeah,
That's what
you know,
responsible adults do.
Yeah.
it really should be treated the same as booze. That, as long as you're not doing it before you start your shift.
The problem is they don't have any way to determine by the amount of THC in your system when the last time you smoked is.
Yeah,
That's why they have a problem with it. They can't say, "Oh, you smoked last night, but you came in sober this morning," because there's no way to tell. Everybody's levels will be different all the time because of how much fat they have in their body, how much they smoke, what kind they smoke, what's the potency. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many factors, and that's why it freaks everybody out, I think.
There are qualitative as well as quantitative testing that they can do for that, and it doesn't matter what version of the pot you smoke or what density the THC is in. Whatever shows up in your body as is what it shows up in your body as. If you smoke too much with ditchweed, you'll get a really high reading. Whereas you get that reading out of some really good indica or something, on 2 hits.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying is it depends.
I'll
It depends on
I'll
if
be
you're
back in a couple of minutes, okay?
okay.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay.
It depends. It depends on, are you smoking like Mexican brown, or are you smoking the good shit at the dispensary that we all have here? Everybody's got the good shit at the dispensary here.
Personally, I like
People don't buy on the street.
I like ditchweed. That stuff you find on the side of the road.
Is it good?
No, it's absolutely horrid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, when I was
once
a kid, that stuff was just growing all over wild along the highways.
It wasn't wild. It was there because in Wisconsin,
planted it.
In Wisconsin, in the World War II days and up to I think about the 50s or so, Wisconsin was very heavily decorated with hemp farms.
Yep.
To make material for sisal rope and things like that.
Yeah. Well, right through World War II, most of the Army equipment was made from hemp. Most of the rope and the canvas for the tents.
And so there's just a bunch of seeds and things that got into the ditches and stuff, and it's been growing there for generations now. But it's still bad.
There you go. Just Johnny Appleseed, the whole marijuana thing all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with that.
Right.
Well, that's the thing.
I've just posted like a tweet in the back in the private chat. Just see if you can bring it up on screen or something in a minute, but because I just want you to look at the poster, the actual image up, that this is a genuine thing from the Conservative Party, just so you can see what the fuck we got to put up with at the moment.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can grab it here.
Well, we got the same idiots over here. We know what you're talking about.
Okay, you got it, man.
Remember, all of this is a worldwide effort put on by the Heritage Foundation, a couple of billionaires, and the evangelical churches in America. They have spread their finances and philosophies and lies over the entire globe. And so that's why everybody's doing the same thing right now, is they've all been duped.
All I know is I came in here because it's Taco Day, and I had to show up on Taco Day. So I need a taco to eat. Do I have any volunteers?
So you've turned into an anti-woke island, huh?
Yeah, I don't have one yet.
Yeah.
There you are.
What bullshit? What fucking bullshit?
That's the shit. That's the shit we got. That is the shit we got to put up with at the moment.
I saw that one on Twitter earlier today, and I just didn't get it. I don't get what it's supposed to mean.
Well, let's put it this way. Bear in mind they have spent half of their political party conference trans bashing. What do you think that probably means?
Yeah.
Well, your guy has said that he, just like this little Vivek punk over here, that he pretty much wants to see it end, to go away, to eradicate.
Well, the party that made that probably wants Ron DeSantis for their PM.
It sounds about Ron DeSantis speed.
Well, we've
all hate, no brain.
we've Yeah, well, we've got Suella Braverman at the moment, and I think she's kind of what happens if you feed Ron DeSantis after midnight. That's
Oh, and being from Florida, I'm contractually obligated to apologize for Ron DeSantis.
Well, Ron DeSantis was trying to launch his
Anyway-
presidential
anyway,
campaign,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
the more
that was
speaking
the-
engagements he did, the lower his poll numbers dropped.
Yep.
And apparently that's gotten back to Florida now, that people in Florida are kind of thinking, well, if no one else in the country likes him, why should we support him? So
Well,
his poll numbers in
they're
Florida are also dropping rapidly.
they're beginning to feel the effects of his bullshit.
Yep.
Is what it
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah,
none
I
of
mean-
them, nobody took the time to read it in advance to find out what would happen, and they voted for the asshole, and now whatever they said was going to happen before the election has happened.
Yeah,
Well, and the big problem they're having is that since he scared all the immigrants out of the state, they don't have laborers to do things like pick their crops and finish building their houses.
yeah, the
Not just
price-
houses, full size, big concrete and steel buildings too.
Yeah.
the price gouging that
Yep.
we're seeing with the electric company is being blamed on DeSantis because they apparently he gave quite a bit to his campaign in donations, which is another thing that there's a lot of debate on as to whether they should be allowed to.
Yeah, and how much money is Florida losing in court and trying to defend that case against Disney?
We need to overturn Citizens United.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of some of those conservative judges and get some proper sane people on that court and reverse that whatever the fucking thing that they call it.
Yeah. Corporations need to be banned from giving money to political campaigns.
It's not speech and they're not people. God damn it.
Ooh, let's see here. Florida Supreme Court rejects justification for solar power and light rate increase. It's only
Yeah, and
first
this is
step
the
now.
thing, that DeSantis's policies have been so bad that even Trump appointing judges can't find a way to protect them.
And what another thing that's making me crazy here in the States is, all these states have all their hate bills that are going out, and and a lot of them have already hit the courts and gone up an appeal and gone up in another appeal, and they're all finding that these goddamn hate laws are absolutely unconstitutional, as everybody expected them to. But if they go up to the Supreme Court, they're going to be said that that's okay because that's what those guys are about.
Well, that's what the Republicans are banking on, that, they don't know how many of them they'll have to do, but eventually one will get to the Supreme Court and set a precedent there. I am very thankful I live in Minnesota and the governor has declared this a sanctuary state, which, among other things, he has banned conversion therapy. And now the
About damn
governor, now they've lit up the governor's mansion in rainbow colors.
I love it when they do that. That's great. Really pisses off all the conservative haters. I love it.
But like I say, he's declared Minnesota a sanctuary state for, trans people from other states. If they can't get their medical care, they can come here and get it.
Oh yeah, he said it
Nice.
quite specifically.
Yep.
That we're here to take
Oh,
care
he
of the people
literally
who are-
said it like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
this,
What's his name?
Tim Walz.
Like you said, that was one of the things we were supposed to be, that our conservative government was supposed to be doing, was banning conversion therapy, which it looks like they've just done a U-turn on.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, even after watching all these other states put together all these horrible laws and make people hate each other, and then have found unconstitutional anyways, they have introduced their own trans hate bills now in Wisconsin. It's been vacant all this time, but now they've decided to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Republicans have a super majority in Wisconsin in both houses. because of their gerrymandering.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
They're still trying that shit in Alabama, even with the Supreme Court knocking down every time they try to gerrymander it. They're still trying to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that in Wisconsin with the gerrymandering, some of the districts aren't even contiguous.
Right.
And that's actually, it specifically says in the state constitution that they have to be.
Yeah, it has to be joined. Yeah, you can't just
Yeah,
pick
so
spots
if
throughout
that
the
goes to
state and
court,
circle
there
it.
shouldn't be any way they can defend that. And those
Well,
maps
remember,
should be struck
to
down.
keep them contiguous, all you need is like half a street worth, of houses, and
Yeah.
and there it is connected to the next one. That's it's such
Exactly,
bullshit.
but-
It's just such
yeah.
bullshit.
I don't. Who the fuck came up with the law that we could do that anyways? It should have been set in stone, done, over with a long time ago.
Both parties have been involved in gerrymandering all this time. The
I know.
Democrats would do it. Every time they were in power and had a chance, and so the Republicans do too. It's everybody's
I'm just
bad
saying,
in this.
why is that okay? I don't think it should happen.
No,
And
it shouldn't.
Why the fuck do we have to have? Anyways, oh my
I
God.
mean,
they just make things so
look,
much more complicated
there's
and
obviously
confusing than they really need to be.
I mean,
Yep.
obviously, like sometimes boundaries have got to change because settlements change or whatever, and populations change. I understand that sort of thing because that happens with our political divide. But yeah, even with us though, do certain people try and take advantage of it? Of course they do. Certain political parties.
Well, the damage.
Well,
the
it's
damage
not the parties; it's just the politicians because they're different in each one. You have shit and good in both parties. It doesn't matter. It's just
The damage being done is the long-term viability of our system. If there's only one party in power, you don't have a system, you have a dictatorship. But also, when they gerrymander for two reasons. One, for the Republican to get the most votes, and to do that, they gerrymander all a given, or as much as possible of a given congressperson's district to be all white. Okay, and they are completely disenfranchising minority people because they never leave enough of them in a district to make a difference.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Yeah, that if there's an area that has a big minority population, they find a way to split that in half into two different districts so that they can't vote as a single block.
Yep.
Well, instead of that, see here, the lowest level is what at city level for voting for stuff. So let's just have the whole district be the entire city, and divide up. If you need to divide things up, divide up that way.
No, they wouldn't get their way and win
I
that
believe
way.
there are numbers. There are numbers that are required to be met as far as how many people have to be minimum in a district for it to be valid. I don't know what those numbers are or who holds them, but
well, and that's why cities are often split up into different districts. Just because where you've got the major population density, they want to take so many thousand from that city in order to make the next district enough.
Yeah, it used to be in America that it was like X number of citizens per congressional district, but as our population has grown and grown and grown, they would have had to add like another 200 or 300 congressmen to to cover every district, and that's just kind of like not going to work with too many people making a decision.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm not sure if it's the state house or the state senate.
If you want to,
and Jared, it varies. It varies in every state. Some, like in Wisconsin right now, the Republicans have had full sway because they are the majority party in the House and the Senate, and so they get to sit down and collude however they want to, and create whatever hell that they can. Other states have forced their legislatures to pass various non-party, non-political boards that do the drawing. Okay, and there was one other method, and I'm forgetting of it. But every state is different, and they can have a combination of those things, or just one pure system. None of it's much good.
Yeah, it's just after the census is taken every 10 years, they redraw the districts based on the population count of the new census.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay, you guys,
whichever party happens to be in control of the state legislature at that time.
I put a link in for the who draws the legislative and congressional redistricting maps, so you guys can look that up. I'll put it in the private chat
that's
too.
good.
I'm a good mod. I'm just up here.
Wisconsin tried to go to the Supreme Court, the SCOTUS, and get a hearing on Wisconsin gerrymandering, and they refused it.
What?
The conservative court refused it, and did not accept the fact that in every election for decades, the Republicans have cast more votes than votes cast for Republicans, but the Republicans still control the houses. Sounds fishy, hey?
Well, on Juror, I know. I'm not talking about the party. If you click on that link, it'll tell you. It's the state that does it, and it's a state legislature. Okay. Well, that would make sense for the legislative redistricting, but I don't know about the congressional. But anyways, that link explains it all. And it says it depends on the state as well. Let's see.
Yeah, every state has its own system. That's why it was such a tragedy when the Voting Rights Act was allowed to sunset by the Congress, the Republican Congress at the time, because they knew once they get rid of that, they can gerrymander like crazy. They can take away all kinds of voting rights and create all kinds of horrible systems to interfere with people being able to vote.
And that's what the Republicans are doing. They're trying to control who's allowed to vote.
Yep.
They actually have listed on this website. On Juror. They actually have a list on the website. Like there's 31 states. It says 31 states are drawn by the state legislature. The advisory commission does 3 states. Independent commission does another 5 states. 2 are done by political appointee commission. One is Arkansas is the only one that uses politician commission for redistricting. But there's just different commissions and stuff by states.
All right. Well,
most of them are 31 of them are legislative.
I thought they were all by the state legislature, but
yeah. Well, you live in the states that probably denote that. That's probably why you think that.
The lesson to be taken away. The lesson to be taken away from all this is that we have to get our Democrats, when they have power again, to goddamn pass the Voting Rights Act again, and this time don't make it sunset, make it permanent.
Yeah,
because you can't trust people like Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia and all these fucks.
Facts.
Yeah, we need a bunch of things done on the federal level because, like you say, that there's some states that are just going to pull whatever shit they can.
Mm-hmm. The Voting Rights Act, what it did, it was that it required certain states that were deemed to be needing to be watched, and those states not being allowed to change any of their electoral regulations and laws and things like that without a review and permission by the federal government. And that's what they got rid of. That now they don't have to look for approval for anything. They can just do whatever the fuck they want, and they do.
Yep. Yeah, which is why they bring in their ID laws and things because specifically they know that low-income people are the ones who are going to have trouble with those laws. People that are middle to upper income, there'll be no hassle.
Right.
It goes way beyond that too, though. One of their most popular things that they're doing now and starting to do in other states, I think Georgia was the first one that started doing this shit, where they would take a region of the state or the city or whatever that has to go and vote, and now that they've gerrymandered it so that it's uh, all split up and stuff. Now what they do is to take the voting locations and abolish them and say things like, "Oh, we're only going to have 2 or 3 voting stations for this district because it's mostly rural."
Yep.
Well, that still means people are going to have to drive 25, 35, 45 miles to go vote. And that's just unacceptable.
Yeah, well, Florida was doing that they were cutting it down to being only 1 or 2 polling places for each county in the low-income counties. So yeah, basically anybody who didn't have a car probably wasn't going to be able to make it to the polling place.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why we need, that anybody can vote by mail from anywhere. Because then people could just request their ballots in the mail and cast them in the mail, and they wouldn't have to worry about traveling to the polling place.
Well, it's interesting that the Republicans have been wanting to get rid of mail-in ballots for a long time, but then in the last election, they realized, oh, all of our people have been mailing their ballots, and look how effective it is.
Yeah, well, and part of the point behind them chopping down, like Jenny was talking about with the chopping down the amount of polling places, is if people wait in line and they have to go do something, they're going to leave. And they fucking know that.
Yeah.
People have jobs, people have children, people have responsibilities. So if you cut down the polling places and people are waiting 6 hours in line to vote or 4, and I've seen it, saw it in Virginia. I waited one time almost 3 fucking hours in line to vote.
Well, in the last election, that kind of stuff was rampant, and the citizens hung in there. They stayed in the fucking line for 8-10 hours to go vote.
Yeah.
People are wise to what they're doing and really pissed off about it. So I'm concerned that they'll walk away from annoyance of the whole system. But people are real motivated to vote these days.
Well, I think more people are seeing what the Republicans are up to and realizing that, this is going to affect me. That you can't be non-political, because if you don't get somewhat involved, they're going to do something that'll affect someone in your family.
Any liberties or freedom you think you have are on the chopping block, folks. Everything.
Yeah. No doubt. Unfortunately, sad but true.
Every state should switch to mail-in ballots. In Washington, we don't have to request a mail-in ballot. Every voter is automatically sent a ballot along with a voter's guide describing the issues.
I prefer mail-in. I can actually research each candidate in real time as I'm filling it out.
Yep. Yeah, I like this, that they just automatically send them out to everyone. So anyone who wants to has it.
Pennsylvania just passed their new law allowing everybody who registers for a driver's license is automatically registered to vote.
Yep.
That's good.
Well, you can opt out of it, but yes, unless you specifically opt out, you're registered.
Republicans didn't like that very much.
Yep. Well, and in Minnesota, we can get the mail-in ballots, but we have to like go on a website or make a phone call to request one before they'll send it out. They don't automatically send them out.
Well, our voting location is on the west end of town, over there by the fire department.
So what, like whole 3 blocks away from you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually where mine is. Well, when we moved, COVID, the lockdown started right after we moved. So I've used the mail-in ballots for every election so far since I've been here, because I can fill them out and I can drop them off at the government center.
Oh! Have you people heard about the scam that's going on with balloting? It's been released. The information's been released that shows that the Republicans seem to have volunteers that will go to any kind of drop off ballot or mail in or drop off ballot location, and they stand around like being innocent and everything with a sack that kind of looks like a postal department sack. And as people pull up to drop in their ballot, they say, "Hi, here, I can take that for you," and they put it in their little satchel, and with no intention to ever put it in the collection box. And people have confronted them on that, questioning, well, why can't I just put it in there? Oh, well, it takes half an hour for us to clear out that box and everything. So this just makes it easier for us, which is such fucking bullshit.
That's totally illegal.
Whoa. So hold on. We'll talk that mail-in ballots here, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would it take you half an hour to clear a box?
Well, it doesn't. But that's the excuse they created, and people buy it because they don't bother thinking.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have postal ballots, so they just go straight into the postal system.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you now, I don't know what the US mailboxes are like, but I guarantee you they're probably like British mail, mail collection points. They probably take about 30 seconds to fucking empty.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
Well, actually, I've seen them do it here, that the regular mailboxes actually have a plastic bin that all the mail falls into. So all the mail carrier has to do is unlock the box, take out the bin, and dump it into his bag, and it's done.
Yeah. I mean, look, people know what I do for a living. I empty a collection box every day. It's seconds out of my day.
This deals with the people who are doing early voting, which we've also found is a very effective way to encourage more people to vote, because then they don't have to stand in any line. They can just fill out their thing and drop it off at a designated location. And these people are just trying to screw up the belief of what is a designated spot. It's just
thankfully.
Well, that's what I was saying. I just drive up to the government office building at the edge of the county, and basically dropping it off there, it goes directly to the people who are responsible for counting the ballots. No one else handles it.
Yeah, thankfully they haven't worked. Thankfully, yet in the UK they haven't worked out this scam of like cutting down the amount of polling stations, so it takes you forever to get to one and having to queue for hours. Thankfully they haven't worked that scam out yet. So I wonder how long it will be before they try that.
Well, the election schnooks who are running roughshod on this bullshit recommend to everybody: do not let anybody, even if you know them, touch your ballot.
Yep.
So between you and the election commission, nobody else.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, the guys that are collecting them and putting them in bags, they should be arrested outright.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Their other intimidation tactic is, and I think we all probably saw this on TV. Some guy who's in the militia shitheads park by one of the locations and hang around carrying their AR-15 and just plain intimidating people to come up to the box and drop in their vote.
And they could be arrested for that too. There are laws against voter intimidation.
Or is there not a law in the US against interfering with the mail?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
that's a federal offense.
That's a criminal offense in the UK.
Yep. Oh yeah, if you take mail that's not addressed to you, that's a federal offense.
Absolutely is. Even though it's privately, the business itself is partially privately owned now or whatever, it's still considered federal.
The postal service?
Hi, Stephanie.
The postal service is still a branch of the federal government.
Yeah, we're still, because they actually privatized us.
They've been trying to do that in the U.S., but they haven't managed it yet.
I don't think they can. The postal office is postal service is in the Constitution.
Right.
They can't just change it willy nilly.
Yeah, it would take an act of Congress to change it. So the Republicans have been trying to do it, but they have never, been able to get enough people that they could get it through.
Well, what they've
Hey,
done with
Stephanie.
what they've done with what they did over here though was a lot of the post office actual counters, the actual post offices are still owned by the state, but the delivery at the end that delivers it, the Royal Mail, that was privately owned now. It was what people I work for.
Yeah, that's what they did with the USPS, United States Postal Service.
Yeah.
Outside entity bought it and owns it. So now they're doing stuff like package.
No.
The post office is organized as an independent body, but it's owned by the government. It just operates independently from the government because that's the way it's supposed to in the Constitution.
Wait, I'm confused though. I thought
if they're not a separation
happening a while back with something being bought. What happened with that? Nothing.
There's no separation between the U.S. Post Office and the USPS. Then
no, it's the same thing.
No, that is the same thing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
saying
I thought somebody bought part of it.
Yeah, that's effectively what happened here. That the post office was because the Royal Mail would be like the British equivalent of the USPS.
Yeah.
And they pretty much separated the two off.
Yep. Yeah,
the other thing that happened, maybe you're referring to this, Beck, was at the last election that the guy who was in charge of the post office, who by the way is insulated and Biden can't just get rid of him, unfortunately, it started removing mailboxes. Like let's get rid of half the mailboxes in the city, and people will not know where to mail their thing.
Yep.
No, the people won't have anywhere to mail their ballot to. They go to a black neighborhood, they take out all the mailboxes. Now these people who don't have any means of transportation have to go miles and miles to drop off their ballot.
Yeah, they've also been closing post offices in a lot of neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like I was saying about them. Well, you were talking about first, them closing down polling locations. It's the same thing. They want them all to go to one and make it so it's hard for them.
Right.
Half these people can't afford to fucking even pay for a damn bus fare, never mind their food, to get to the fucking polling place, and they move it, 2 miles down the road down to 15 miles away. Well, now it's not walkable anymore.
Yep.
I can't believe how much a bus costs nowadays.
Poor people. I wouldn't even know, but I don't want to know. Probably cost, but I bet as much as I leave and go places and work and stuff, I would probably pay as much in bus fare here as I do for my damn truck. Because everything's expensive here.
Again, around here it's not bad. It's $1.25 is the normal fare for the bus. I've got a senior's card, so I get it for half price.
Now that's feasible, reasonable, and fair.
Remember when it was a quarter?
Yep. Yeah, I remember living in Minneapolis when it was only a quarter ride.
They have a train here. It has an engine on both ends. It never goes off the track. It never turns around or anything. And it goes through Santa Fe. There's like 3 or 4 stops in Santa Fe that they pick up or drop off at. And then they go down to Albuquerque and they hit all the major spots down there, including the airport. And it's cheaper to ride. Like you can buy a monthly thing if you're like live in Albuquerque or Santa Fe and work in the other place. You can buy a monthly thing for like less than $30. It's actually cheaper to get on the train and go all the way down to Albuquerque than it is to ride the buses.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, guys. I just while I was sitting here, I just filled out my request for mail-in ballot.
Oh, very good.
Go.
Yes, Jared, you're absolutely right. I mean, y'all know why our transportation system and everything is the way it is. Don't you?
I know the history of it, but does anyone else?
Guess not.
Go ahead, Jen. Jenny, you still with us?
I don't know. Is her mic screwing up again?
Muted, isn't she?
I hear the background noise from Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Jenny, is your mic muted or something?
Okay.
I bet you she was having mic issues before. I bet you she's fighting with it right now.
Probably.
Yeah, well, I forget which ones, but it was General Motors and I think Firestone, one of the big tire companies, and one of the big oil companies. It literally was a conspiracy for them to buy up public transportation systems in cities across the U.S. so they could dismantle them. You know,
Yeah.
if you ever saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yeah, I know.
that scheme was real.
I know. I have seen that movie. You know, I remember the sort of plot behind it. I do know that was based on something that actually happened.
Yeah, that actually happened across the U.S. That they dismantled the public transport systems across the U.S. to basically force more people to buy cars.
And look how well that worked out. We're all screwed now thanks to it.
Yep. And unfortunately, what they're doing now... Oh, there's Jenny. You back?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, don't know if you were talking. We couldn't hear you.
No, I was gone. I was offline.
Oh, well, your avatar was still there, so we didn't know.
Wow.
So Perps has just stolen your thunder now. So.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
We do it here.
Didn't know how long you were gone, so I gave him just the brief rundown of the conspiracy to dismantle the public transportation systems.
By who?
Well, it was GM. I think it was Firestone. It was GM, one of the big tire companies,
okay,
and one of the big oil companies.
Yep, and they're still fighting it today. Every town that's trying to bring in light rail gets this big lobby effort from the automakers to pan it because they want to sell cars, not help people.
Yeah, even though we really can't afford the infrastructure for the cars, because obviously a bus or a train can carry a lot more people, you know, using less space than the dozens of cars it would take to carry the same number of people. And it's why we're using just ridiculous amounts of space for parking lots in this country.
Jeff, do you own a car?
I don't. I've never needed to.
That's what we got to get to here.
Yeah, but I'd say that's still I'm still very much in a minority here because the thing is, yeah, I mean, like our public transportation is not what it used to be. I mean, especially at one time we had the bloody price gouging the railway companies get away with is despicable. I mean, yeah, I found it as a joke, right? That the fact that back in 2017, right? I went to go to Scotland for a few days. Okay, so first thing I did was look at the train fares. Okay, to go from where I live to Edinburgh in Scotland. Okay, and that's like a 7 or 8 hour train journey, right? Do you know what? And do you know And do you know what? It cost me £5 more to take a flight and be there in 1 hour.
Oh,
That's
That was the
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was the ridiculousness of it. That's the
Wow.
ever since the railways were privatised and this is one of those things that even the vast majority of like conservative voters want the railways back in like state ownership, and because what's happened is they. But this is the joke of it. The whole reason the British public was sold on privatisation because they were saying well that the government it was subsidising the rails too much and it would be a private investment. We weren't going to have to subsidise the rails anymore. Blah, blah. What? Yeah. How the fuck did that one work out? You know where this is going.
Yeah.
They've had
Libertarians?
private, no, but this is the whole thing. Like, oh well, we won't have to fund this anymore. Of course, the private rail companies have been subsidised way heavier than they were when it was state owned, and they've been allowed to price gouge like fuck.
Libertarians, take note, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how libertarians are the biggest fucking hypocrites anyway. Because I noticed the state shouldn't involve until it applies to them.
Well, the biggest problem I have with libertarians is they never have any plan for how things will get paid for. It's like
they make me laugh because they sort of I tell you, libertarianism is a way more utopian fantasy than bloody communism by a long way.
Well, it's like people don't understand that your tax money pays for all the public services.
Well, they think
that if you privatize all the public services, how are they going to make money enough to just keep them functional?
Well, they think it can be done. They think it can be done through charities and wherever these companies are running the stuff make off of you.
Yeah.
Privatization of government operations is one of the biggest lies that the right wing has. They claim, just like Jeff was saying, all the savings that you're going to have, and we don't have to worry about doing any of that stuff ourselves. Everything that is privatized gets more expensive and more problematic. You just look at the history of privatization and you'll see it.
Well, the other good example of it in the UK at the moment is energy costs.
Uh-huh.
And who would have thought, like, just to throw all this competition or whatever, that they'd allow all these little the smaller firms or whatever, so that we would end up with a huge amount of our electricity being dependent on, like, I don't know, heating oil from Russia. Now, who would have thought that would come back to bite us in the ass at any time?
I thought UK was like kind of energy independent with all the North Atlantic oil and stuff.
No. No.
Oh, okay, didn't know
not
that.
At all.
Yep.
And again, this is the other thing that the government's sort of gone back and now is like a lot of them move towards like net zero and renewable energies and stuff. All because bloody that Rishi Sunak is terrified of the real hardcore right wing of his own party, and he's just fucking pandering to them on everything right now.
Well, why would you want to be truthful to your citizens?
Well, we're not talking about the citizens. He's pandering to the right wing in his own party that don't like him. He's just pandering to them right now.
This our equivalent over here. This Vivek Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
This kid is 38 years old. He has no experience. He's just a big fucking mouth. I don't care where he went to school or what degree he got. He doesn't know a fucking thing except what he wants.
Yep. Carrie's asking about hydropower in the UK. I know you've got some, but I don't know what percentage.
Yeah, there's
applies.
some. There's some. It's probably a lot more in like winds, to be honest.
Hi, Carrie Ann.
Hi,
Hello,
Carrie.
Carrie.
Hi, Porpoise.
Hello, the sinister porpoise.
Yeah, the hydro does cause environmental problems of its own. A lot of it's having to do with screwing up fish migrations.
Well, it's like they were saying. The House of Representatives was bringing up different topics of bitching, and they were talking about all the dams that weren't, the hydroelectric dams that weren't maintained and weren't updated, and now they're like, "Oh, it costs so much money to do it. We're just gonna shut it down." Well, but if we would have kept up with it, we would have more hydroelectric fucking power right now because the infrastructure was already in place and we didn't take care of it, and now it's destroyed.
Yeah,
the other
for a lot
pressure
of it.
that's on dams, though, is we've realized how much ecological damage they do. And just there's a whole bunch of unnecessary ones that just need to come down so that the creatures that live there can live there.
That is true.
The environmental impact that they have on the rivers.
Thanks, Ox.
Beck lives matter.
Yeah, Ox made a thing about reading a paper. If all the cars and trucks went electric, there wouldn't be enough power to run them. And yeah, I believe that if we replaced all the cars with electric ones, yeah, we would definitely need some additional sources of electrical power.
Charge the
yes,
batteries.
Ox, bovine lives matter too. Yes. Yeah, no, it's a messy thing. I mean, really, what they need to do is actually put in real solar plans so people can put up solar power. The problem is that they want to get, like, you pay for all the equipment, basically, is what it is, and they'll give you like a discount on the labor or whatever, because my landlord has checked into it for this state. But the problem is that these people that are doing this, the electric companies are still charging them a base rate every month. It's not working the way they say it does. It depends on the power company.
Well, wind and solar still have some problems as far as the materials, and what to do with the components at the end of their life. So I do think that we need nuclear, to get us off the fossil fuels while we're still developing, better wind and solar solutions.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as I know, nuclear's great.
I wish all of us, when we mention nuclear, don't say the word nuclear, but instead say thorium, salt, or other low pollution reactors. Because everybody thinks
low pollution reactors.
It has to be this gigantic, horrible, deadly plant, but it doesn't.
No, well, most of the things that people fear about nuclear was a fear-mongering campaign by the oil companies in the 80s.
Everything that they have for fears about nuclear power is absolutely freaking true. I mean, look what happened at 3 Mile Island. Look what happened at Chernobyl. Look what happened in Japan.
Look at what happened at 3 Mile Island. Yes, a reactor melted down, but they kept it contained. It really didn't have much
they
effect
didn't.
Well,
no, they did not.
It wasn't as catastrophic as it could have.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a far superior reactor system to Chernobyl. So
it could have easily been Chernobyl, though.
Juris got the answer. We need to start breeding hamsters and have millions of hamster wheels.
That might do it.
Every house would be self-powered with several dozen hamsters, huh?
And if the hamster can't put out well enough, then you got lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, guinea pigs, they're bigger. They taste better, I've heard. No, I was going to say when Carrie Ann was talking about the technology exists to use slow current geared up to power, slow current geared up to power alternators, which also need redesigned. See, here's my thing. Why aren't we doing something with the huge rivers we have running through like most of the fucking country? That's the thing that kills me about it. I know damn well that you can create power with a river as well.
What's the biggest river in the country?
Fuck, I don't know.
It's my neighbor, the Mississippi.
We have the Mississippi, we have the Colorado, we have the Ohio, we have...
Now, hold on. They have so much water. The Ohio feeds into the Mississippi. We have so much water in the Mississippi that it's going dry at the Louisiana end. And salt water is going to back up any day into their drinking water systems.
That's right. We have climate issues. That's right. We're not going to, because Colorado, the Colorado River is right now short over 220,000 gallons of what it should be at right now. And
Something
it's been slowly declining over the last few years. Yeah, it's
although
worse.
they did say with all the incredible precipitation Southwest has gotten in the last year has helped a lot with the drought issues that they have out there. I've been waiting to hear somebody say the Colorado system and Hoover Dam and all that kind of stuff. Lake Mead is back to normal, but it hasn't reached that point.
Well, no, because California had that like 5-year drought, so while they're doing much better this year, it's still not enough to replenish everything they lost over that long period.
And if we had
the 3 Mile Island cleanup in 1988, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission announced that although it was possible to further decontaminate the Unit 2 site, the remaining radioactivity had been successfully contained and as to pose no threat to public health and safety. Except
when it's actually happening, I distinctly remember them talking about the radiation clouds that were flying overhead and the spread of the radiation, a small amount, but still the spread of the radiation as the weather flies. So
yeah, but it's not like the way they were fear-mongering it, that if a nuclear plant melted down, it was going to explode and take out a whole city. Things like that don't happen.
No, that can happen.
Well, I remember the whole
Chernobyl. That place, the area around there is still vacant.
Yeah, well,
it's shut down completely.
Yeah, Chernobyl. Yeah. The Russians built a bad design using substandard materials.
Well, I remember the Fukushima nuclear accident. We're worried about the radiation flowing into California, and that was just fear mongering in the news.
Yeah, so, what they're counting on is that they're taking a gallon of water and put it into the ocean. What's the balance of ratio here? That it's highly contaminated water that they're going to dump, but they're doing it slowly and only a bit at a time to help remediate.
Water contains nuclear radiation very well.
Oh yeah. And there's technically radiation over the entire planet, always has been.
Oh yeah.
And Ox, I actually live really close to the Rio Grande. I can drive like 30 some odd minutes and be there.
Really?
And it is really, really low compared to where it should be.
Do me a favor sometime, piss in it for me. On the
sure. That'll bring the level up.
On the Texas side.
Touche. I'd have to go really far to get to the Texas side. I have to go way south of here. But...
Did you hear what Texas is doing next? What Greg Abbott, the fascist dictator, decided they're going to do? Well, they're building a wall, across the southern border to Mexico. Now they're going to start building a wall between Texas and New Mexico that people have to have a check-in point to go through so they can control women getting out to get abortions.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Yep, that's the state
I'm going to say right now, if you are a woman and you live in Texas or Georgia or any of those, you're fucking stupid. Move.
No, a lot of people are just not equipped to be able to move.
Most people can't afford to move. If you've got a job, you can't move unless you've got a job in the place you're moving to.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that can go into why someone might not be able to move out
No,
of a
I
shitty
understand
state.
that, but I'm just saying if they can and they still live there and they're just gonna sit there and bitch about it, that's ridiculous.
Well, a
Yeah,
lot of people
It's not
have,
like it's
are-
not like Texas is gonna change tomorrow.
a
well,
lot of
no,
people are
but
not counting on the fact that the frog is slowly heating up and haven't noticed anything yet. So they haven't
Yeah.
noticed anything yet.
Well,
Yeah,
even
good
if they
point.
even if they
Touche.
can, they might have other reasons why they might not, because such as like having family around, having their network of support there.
Mm-hmm.
I know like a dozen people who want to move out of Florida but just can't afford it.
I know several I don't know deeply personal of probably at least half a dozen transgender people who want to get the hell out of Florida, or well, Florida and Texas.
Well, not just transgender people.
Wish I
I
was
know,
rich.
cis people down in Florida that have had it with the way everything's going, and like Mage was saying, the way the utility prices have skyrocketed.
And that's going to make it even harder for anybody to move as well, because you're taking that money that you might have been able to save to move, and you're having to put it into like FPL.
Oh yeah, they came through my building last month and they were checking everybody's refrigerators. They were checking for older refrigerators. And any of the refrigerators that are more than 10 years old, they're replacing. And apparently
Who
this is
is?
actually, well, that's the thing. It's actually Excel Energy that is paying for the new refrigerators.
Oh,
Because they
okay.
determined that it's going to be cheaper to give a couple thousand residents new refrigerators so that they don't have to upgrade the service lines.
Sounds like a good idea.
Giving people more efficient appliances means that they don't have to upgrade the infrastructure.
Well, I'm glad they ran the numbers. That's very sensible.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna have to make a move, guys. So
Okay. You want to
Cool.
plug anything before you go?
it's just there might be a new video out on my new channel, History with Scummer, some point next week. So
Do you know what the topic is?
it's so if all goes to plan, I should be filming on a World War II sort of famous World War II battle site.
Oh, okay. That sounds
So-
interesting.
Yeah. So
And you're doing that when?
some point next week.
Okay.
Okay, well, come back on next week and plug it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop
Okay.
a link in since it's a different channel for you, Jeff. I'm gonna drop your link in the chat for everybody. Make sure everybody has it.
Yeah.
Because I was not subscribed myself, but I am now.
And again, everybody
Cool.
who's in here in the chat, I've put all of your links in the description. So anybody watching this, you can go and you can find the links for Jeff and Beck, as well as
Cool.
Mage Jenny.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thank you, Perp.
I'll see you guys
All right,
later.
Jeff. Nice seeing
All
you,
right.
buddy.
All right. Yeah. Good to see you. Bye bye.
I should get one of those Linktree things.
I know. I should
I
set up a
have
link
one,
tree,
but I
too.
haven't gotten the habit of using it. I need to go back and update mine.
I think I should look into that.
Yeah, Linktree itself seems to be a pretty good one. Like I said, I signed up for it like 2 years ago, and I filled it out, but I've got some new links that I should put in there to update it. Like putting in the Blue Sky link.
Yeah,
That's a long link. That didn't work.
I'm on Blue Sky, Tribal, and Threads. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Thread.
Yep.
That sucks. Thread really sucks. It just sucks.
Well, other than Twitter, I'm just on Blue Sky and Discord.
Oh yeah, Discord too. And then my coffee thing.
Yep.
Wait a minute. You have to pay? Oh, there is a free one. Okay. I was going to say you have to pay for Linktree? That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, there's
no,
a
you
free
don't.
level or I wouldn't be there.
Okay. Here's a better link. There you go, guys. If anybody wants to set up a link tree. Here, I'll do mine right now while we're sitting here bullshitting.
Yeah, Linktree is handy because you can list all your stuff there, and then you only have to give out the one link, and anybody who's interested in you can go and find all of your stuff in one place.
Cool.
It's especially handy for people who stream on multiple platforms.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. You know, so if people put in my address to YouTube, they're going to hit a brick wall. It's just going to be, oh, there it is. There's no ability to actually get a hold of me or anything like that through that. So the other links matter.
Well, I do have it on my YouTube. If you go to the About tab, it does have my Twitter and my email address there, so people can find me that way.
Oh, this is a fun one. Women's rights and protections under threat from trans extremism. Want me to save this thing up and post it up so we can go over this?
Sure.
Yeah, so they're saying trans people are taking rights away from women. Yeah, let's see what that's about.
I have to go wee. I'll be right back.
Bye.
Yeah. Actually, I also have to take a momentary break.
Okay.
I have to empty one thing and fill something else.
I'll wait until you guys get back then.
I filled up my coffee earlier.
Yeah, well, I've drained my iced tea, so I need to grab another bottle.
Do it.
All right, I'll wait until they get back before I post this thing up. So, what's going on here?
So, I don't know, Mage. Oh, Steph has a link tree. Thank you, Steph, for that. I didn't know you had one. That's cool.
And I say
I
to
can
myself,
dig it.
what
What
the
a
hell's going on?
What the fuck's up with this world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be appropriate.
What the fuck's going on?
Oh my goodness. What the fuck's... I don't know what's going on. I went to a job interview today. That worked out good. Did I tell you guys about that yet?
Yeah, you said you went to a job interview.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got the offer letter, went in online. I was just filling out paperwork and yeah.
Well, I've been messing around with the X-Men fanfic of mine, and I'm kind of sort of toying around with an idea of maybe starting up another YouTube channel for like reviews, like reviewing movies and shows and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Mostly I want to focus on stuff like I actually enjoy watching. But if I need to complain about something, I can.
Yeah. Touche.
I don't know though. Haven't quite fully formed that idea in my head yet, though.
Yeah, it takes me a while to do stuff because I have to think about it for 5 million freaking years.
I still got to do stuff for my gardening channel. Seems like every time I want to get to doing something for that, something else gets in the way.
I'm back.
Yeah, all right. Well, I guess we'll just wait for Purple to get back, and I'll put the image up, and we can go over what this thing's saying.
Okay.
I was sitting there going, what is running in the background? It was my stuff.
Yeah.
I got 50 tabs open. I don't know where the hell the music's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was somebody talking, and I was like, that sounds like dog. and then I realized it was the stream I had up on my channel. You know, the main one for people to see thing. Yeah.
Purple back. Okay, so
Actually, Beck, you told us a bit about the job. You just said it was at a hospital. You didn't say what kind of work you'd be doing.
Oh, it's so what it is it's a distribution clerk for the hospital. So basically they have like supply closets. You go around with a scanner, you scan what you need to fill, go down to the warehouse, it populates a report, you pick everything and go fill it. And that's it.
Okay. So basically taking care of inventory to make sure the supplies are where everybody needs them.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Right. Yeah. And then like there's one guy that all he does is take care of the supplies for the emergency room. And then the rest of us work the whole hospital.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Here's what the thing's saying. I go through each point, or just call general bullshit.
Threat from trans extremism.
Yeah, that one's total bullshit. Number 2, bullshit.
What?
Number 3, bullshit.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, I don't really understand.
That's like that anyways. They don't house women and male convicts together. That's stupid.
Well, you see, their language and idea of trans science is that there are no trans women. There's just men in dresses. And so if somebody has transitioned and they commit a crime and they go to jail, they'll put them in the women's prison. And there have been some issues.
Yeah, keep in mind they're calling males trans here, so just keep that in mind.
Lesbian specific organizations and action groups. Wow.
That's bullshit. They're specific organizations and that's the old biddies of the feminist movement from the 60s. They're the only ones that are upset. God,
yeah,
and
actually,
upset
by
in the
and large,
70s.
lesbians are some of the biggest supporters of trans people.
Yep. I in my very earliest days and hours of transitioning, started getting hassled on various levels from what today we call the TERFs. Okay, they existed then, and they had the same philosophies about trans people then as they do now. That we were just subhuman and should be eliminated, and we're just disgusting things they'd say, just like today.
What's the right to demand that female healthcare providers perform intimate emergency procedures, including rape exams?
Where is that?
But the very last one.
Yeah, so
the right to demand that female healthcare providers. Oh, again, that's the same thing as that. Okay, so you go to an ER and the doctor there happens to be a trans person. They don't want him to touch you or her to touch you, whoever it is.
What do you guys make of the first one here? The single little sex X-ray crisis center and homeless shelters for women traumatized by male violence.
I understand what the concern could be, but for them to make a total ban once again, it's completely unfair and not logical. There have supposedly been people who have filed major complaints, which nobody can find in the paperwork, that they went into a shelter, a women's shelter of some sort. I forget if it was rape or if or domestic abuse, and the counselor there was a trans person who, I'll use words of the community, did not pass as well as many other trans people can. And so as far as that person was concerned, that was a man because of how they looked. And that's where all that is stemming from, that they feel that nobody who looks like a man should be doing that work. Of course, they say all trans people, but that's what they mean.
Yeah. accuracy
I mean,
reporting.
because there's I just have to say this. There's so many
Right.
trans people that you just can't tell.
This is true.
Like
you can run into. Yeah.
Yeah, see, but Carrie, let's go back. Where was the one she made the comment about men? Men who suffer from abuse and need shelter too. No. In these states, men are toxic masculinity men. They're never going to admit that they need help or they need an abuse shelter or they've been raped or anything else because all the other men will call them a pussy. And here we are with toxic masculinity. So no, men are never going to admit there that they need shit.
The accurate reporting of crimes committed by sex that could easily be taken care of with adding a gender category. To get even more accurate reporting.
All of these together are really just one or two sentences, and they've just broken the sentences down and make an entire line out of a word or two. These are all the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they all focus on that idiotic belief that they have about, is it a trans woman or is it a pervert? You know, they just don't get it. They don't want to get it.
Probably not.
Well, it just makes me so crazy. I mean, they these trolls and shit they get online and they just shred trans people verbally in chats and things like that. And it's like, you guys, you'd think we maybe don't know any of these things that you're saying to us. Why don't you just shut up, because you're just repeating talking points that we're all perfectly aware of, and all you're doing is being mean. You're not being political or changing anything. You're just being fucking mean.
Yeah, I think Carrie's got it. If we could end misogyny, that would fix it.
Sure.
While the stealing personal stalls for locker rooms would be ideal, even if you don't have the whole trans thing going.
I used to request female-only healthcare workers, but now I specify non-binary people or anyone using she/her pronouns is okay too. There you go. Yeah.
Stephanie, that book in '79, that's the year I transitioned, and the people I know within 6 months of me transitioning were going at me with that book and saying, "Well, look at all this stuff. You're just crazy. You're sick." And I was like, "No, I'm not." Fuckers.
Yeah.
If we make a law saying men should never interact with women ever, or they will be shot, and in maximum 100 years, all conflicts will be resolved. You can't have conflicts when we're all dead. Yeah.
Hold that up there. I want to read it again.
Yeah, it's still up there.
Oh, you know what I'm really enjoying writing too? Incels and these rabid toxic masculinity guys is I just let them know, hey, you guys, you do understand that science can now take a stem cell and fertilize an ova with it, and that means we don't need men for anything.
Oh my goodness.
Well, anything else you want to say on this? Maybe I'll clip this part or part out and send it to the person, so I don't have to make a long reply.
Sounds like a good idea. Could you send me a copy too?
Well, I'll just timestamp this.
Either that or you could post it in the Twitter group and then, Jenny could get from there. I want equality personally. Your reproductive organs tell me nothing about a person except their potential reproductive functions. Yeah, and that's what we should be shooting for is, forget about race or gender or all these categories we try to divide people into. Why can't we just treat everyone the same? Why does that idea seem to be so mind-blowing to some people?
Religion.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's easy to blame religion, but I think humans are. I think we're loaded when we're born to be the horrible people that we are. I just think it's part of our sad nature of existence.
Yeah, Jenny, Robert is thanking you for destroying his solution.
Oh well, I'm glad you appreciated that, Robin.
My favorite one is the right to demand that female healthcare providers perform intimate emergency. I can't read the rest now because Stephanie's comments covering it. Thank you. Emergency procedures, including rape exams. Like the woman doesn't have a choice.
The single sex sports thing. Pretty sure most of those advantages tend to go away with hormone therapy.
Accurate reporting of crimes committed by sex.
Yeah, like I said, just
why not just like fucking work on the people in your goddamn state that are rapists and stuff, or SA, or
it's
kitty likers,
just
or whatever.
It's just a matter of getting the crime report, or it's not so much on working the issues.
On that one specific.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, just add the category of gender, and you get more accurate reports.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
The intention behind that statement of theirs is that they want to be able to keep statistics on how many trans people commit a crime, and then take this one or two rarities of the actual population, and color all trans people as evil because of one or two people. I mean, there have been sexual assaults. The woman who has been saving all the records of sexual assault and things like that in America since they started calling us predators and groomers, all the drag queens and us. She has recorded 3 incidents when that trans people were involved with a sexual assault of some kind. We don't gory details, just the basic concepts. And that's fine. There's bad people in any group. I'm sure at some point there's going to be a drag queen that does something like that.
Sure, or at least claim to be.
But you can't color the whole population based on one person. And if you want to take the percentages, 3 people out of right now, she's up to 2,800 reports that families are number 1, religion's number 2, teachers and that kind of stuff number 3, other church workers are number 4, and trans people don't even show, or drag queens don't even show up on the stratification.
Yeah. So again, trans people are less than 1%.
That sounds like it would work against them to have that kind of statistics on hand. Then.
Well, I don't think it's just trans people. I think it's anybody under the umbrella that they're trying to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, when they say trans, it's not necessarily somebody who's like those of us in this particular panel that are looking at medical treatment and medical transition. A lot of people are NBs, and that's what they want to spend their life as.
Yeah, and Truth said, my favorite, most revealing thing that Jordan Peterson has ever said is, if I don't know what gender you are, how do I know how to treat you?
Yeah,
yep, I knew about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a misogynistic statement.
I remember when he said that. Oh, God.
Well, if you don't tell me if you're a trans woman, how do I know to treat you less than? Like, that's all that says to me. I know.
What the heck? How
don't
dare
make
you
me
come
president?
Up with things that might actually work. You sound like a Democrat.
I'm actually independent,
we try.
But I usually do vote Democrat. There's been very few Republicans in the last decade that have impressed me at all in any seat.
Yeah, I'm technically an independent. I have not found a Republican that I've wanted to vote for in the last 20 years. I have voted for a couple of candidates from the Green Party because in Minnesota that can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota has a strong enough Green Party that we've even gotten a couple of them into the state legislature from time to time.
Right. Oh, what else is on here? Women's groups and meetings that don't include males. How you like that one?
The grants and scholarships one confuses me.
Where is that?
Grants.
How's-
It says
Oh,
grants,
yes.
scholarships, affirmative programs, and representative positions specifically for women.
How's having trans?
Well, they want men to have a chance at the same things.
No. There's because of the historical unfairness of women, in the workplace and pay scales and all that kind of stuff. There are a number of grants and scholarships that have been set up just for women, that men aren't open for them, and then that's fine. They've been around for a long time. Who cares? But again, they want to say that we're not women. We're men in dresses, and so therefore we can't have those things. All the people who give those things feel completely different, but we're not talking normal people.
So free college.
Real.
Yeah,
Problem
well,
solved.
and if they're not government grants, then that's entirely up to the organization that's awarding them.
Yep.
Oh, are we done with this? Or
I don't know. Are we?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Okay.
pretty torturous. I'm done.
well, how about we put something else up instead?
Okay, what's
Oh,
the
yeah.
stack showing? Crimes against children.
This is the charts based on this woman's 26, 27, 2800 examples that she has put into her study.
Yeah, this is
And
a ladies' study thing.
by
If you-
occupation, who's doing the assaults.
So you can see where transgender stands way down here with a little nothing sliver.
And,
Yeah, I have to say the text is a little hard for me to read on this one.
and the drag queen is devoid of any marks whatsoever.
Yeah, transgender looks like there was like one
there we
person
go.
ever,
That's better.
or 3 or 4, 2 people, and drag queen is 0.
I think she said there's 3 in that group.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you saying it, but yeah, I think you did say it was 3.
She
And then
also
down
has.
here, it's just more detailed. Missionaries have created more crimes against children than fucking transgender people and drag queens.
Yeah, but you see that, things like religious leaders and cops are always fairly near the top.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other category is on this
Yeah.
breakdown.
Well, I think that's just anybody who doesn't fit into one of the named categories. That's I'd assume.
Yeah.
There we are.
But also notice the highest ones are always friend or family member. It's usually someone the child knows.
Do you have the other charts of hers, the pie charts?
I can get them.
Those are fun to look at.
Yes, those are great as well. We had a good time with these charts, Jenny, didn't we?
Yeah.
I got our web. Well, I can put a website up here if they want to look at it.
Oh yeah, leave a link. Definitely.
Yeah, it'd be good to put in the side chat there if anybody in the audience wants to go and take a better look at them.
And the woman who's doing this is a lawyer, a real live actual lawyer, and a trans woman.
Nice. It's not the famous one on TikTok, is it?
It might be actually.
She's an older lady lawyer dating younger girl, crazy in love with each other. She's fucking brilliant.
I like that
Hold on, let me find her.
whole patriarchal package.
can't remember what her fucking
Yeah,
name is.
Stephanie's saying the thing is trans women are just as affected by misogyny as cis women. We get the whole patriarchal package. Yep.
Yeah, and on top of that, we get all the harassment from the TERFs and the GCs. So life is difficult. And then they'll go start screaming about detransition. Oh, all these detransitions. Okay, well, why don't you ask the people why they detransitioned, and then you'll find out right from the source that they mostly detransitioned because of social pressure, not because they are no longer trans.
There's the lady.
Yep, that's her.
The
Wait
site.
a minute, go back up.
Go
I
ahead.
missed. Yes, that is her. I knew it was her. She's amazing. I
All right.
follow her on TikTok.
I love the name of her website. Who's making news?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crimes against
Yeah, she's
children
great,
per
man.
million
If
population.
you guys don't follow her on TikTok, you really should, because she's always doing different topics for the LGBT community.
Yeah, I see her on TikTok.
Yeah, she's great.
There we go.
There's the
Yes,
side chart.
sirree.
How about a little zoomy there, Magey?
Let's see here. Does that work?
No, much bigger.
Go one more or two more.
No,
One more.
don't try to get both charts in. Just go for the
Yeah,
pies.
just get a single pie chart at a time.
This
Yeah,
is
just
about-
zoom in far enough that we can.
Yeah,
I need
because
to-
otherwise the text is too small to read.
I'm having to.
There you go. You got them all in there.
All right.
That's better.
That's the best I can do.
Okay, that's as much as he'll zoom in.
Oh,
Okay,
that really
so
sucks.
the first pie chart, just because I know some of you cannot read it, total offenders by political affiliation. The large
golly.
teal area is Republican. Next is a little orange slice of 10%. That's unknown. 5% Democrat, and yellow is Libertarian, and it's less than 5%. I'd say about 2 to 3. So that's a fun pie chart. That's my favorite that Jenny found.
That's why that's just amazing. I would never think that's the way the numbers would be.
So funny, those Republican Christians and their fucking sex crimes.
Oh, why are we taking away from them? Not looking at the second one.
Oh, we weren't done yet.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. Oh well, we didn't.
Can't you get that from him and blow it up more?
I'm not quite sure where he's pulling them from.
I'm just on the website, and I'm just increasing the size of the website to get this. I was trying to get it so I can read this third one here with all this stuff.
You know, speaking of dresses, Robert, let me just say the funniest thing I think about all this entire thing is that years and years ago, everybody wore dresses anyways. No one had pants.
There's actually
so now it's bad. Because we have distinguished in our society the difference between pants and a fucking dress. Now it's a big deal.
There's actually a news article out there of my grandfather when he was young in his sister's hand-me-down dress.
Yeah, well, the whole thing of the, dresses are for women is really only about 100 years old, because right up to the 1920s, there's a famous picture of Teddy Roosevelt as a child wearing a dress.
Well, but to say that it was dressed for everybody. No, it wasn't dressed for everybody. It was dressed for little babies and small children up to about 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
It wasn't
exactly.
adult men walking around in a beautiful little jumper or something.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about back in Romans were wearing togas and people didn't have pants back then.
Yeah, or Louis the
now,
14th.
all those people that fought hard and had to survive and suffer through horrible, environmental and wars and everything else that we don't have to fucking deal with because we're privileged. And now it's bad. All those tough ass men who were gladiators and all this other shit that wore skirts, now it's bad. Kiss my ass. toga, toga, toga.
And what's the bar chart below?
The bar chart below broken into 10 super categories plus other. These are offenders. The other column is 509. Religious. Oh, by the way, this is how many? It doesn't show. Anyways, religious 341, family friend / neighbor 295, family member 282, teachers and aides 205, cop 134, coach 102, daycare / babysitter 57, politicians 40, not listed 37. Please scroll to the right, Mage, so I can see the last part
That's
of that.
as far as it goes.
Oh, it's just doctor is 14.
Yeah.
Okay. So your doctor is actually the safest. It's way safer to go to a doctor than be around religious people. That's what I'm seeing.
Unless they happen to be a doctor for a university that has an Olympic program.
Yeah. Okay. But who is making up this other column of the largest amount?
Don't know.
Online. Hold on, I gotta get a little closer.
Online offenders.
Online repeat offender school district employee. Okay, online. Online is the highest offenders of the others. 63% or whatever, thousands or whatever those is a repeat offender. 37 is a school district employee. Then it goes to military, firefighter, truck driver, Boy Scout leader. And down at the end is the last ones, which are the smallest, which only have ones, are soldier and student on student. The twos, oh my God. Scout leader, homeless, tattoo artist, small business owner, burglar, horse trainer, attorney, therapist, barber, maintenance worker, horse barn owner, pimp. And hold on, folks. The pimps do as less damage than the doctors, and they do like, oh my God. Still, religious is at 341.
Yeah, so much for the pimps pushing
are better to
underage
be
girls
around.
into prostitution, huh?
Yeah, and they're less criminals than the fucking religious people, like by thousands and thousands. Then there's student, business owner, store clerk, and store manager.
And so that's what's made up to other.
Yeah, military is 9, firefighter is 7. Those are 2 of the highest ones on the low end. School district employee, repeat offender, and then online is the worst, which of course happens all the time.
Yeah, everything
you're
after
never
the
too
third.
old or too ugly to transition if it's what you feel you need to do.
Everything past the third bar is all
woman.
single digit numbers.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of those are 3 or less.
Yeah, 3 2s. Almost all of them are 2s, honestly. And those are the ones I read off to you guys. That was the majority.
This is not all sexual assaults. This is children, pedophilia type.
Yes, these are just children. Right.
These are not adults.
These are just SA on children, right? Of some form. Total offenders by state. Oh, I love this one. 321, and now offenders per 100,000. So there's 321 per 100,000 in the state of Texas.
Yep, number 1. They like to be number 1, you know.
Can you click on California for me?
California.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Is 198 per 100,000.
61.
See, New York is 161 per 100,000. PA is 153. Oh my God, what's Ohio got going on there? Go up to Ohio. 139 per 100,000.
Yeah, Ohio's
7 for North Carolina, and then what's Florida got?
152.
152. So those are the top 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 states, 7 states that have the highest per capita of children offenders, and Texas is the largest.
That drops down into double digits, it looks like.
Yeah, Kentucky is number 10, Texas is number 1. The list is Texas, California. Well, from 1 to 10, Texas, California, New York, PA, Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, Iowa, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Those are the top 10.
Our leader would like a click on Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Okay, click on Minnesota there for me. Wisconsin has Minnesota has 48
No,
per
that's Michigan.
100,000,
Oh,
and
sorry.
Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Minnesota has 60 per 100,000, and Wisconsin had, what was that?
54.
54. Thank you.
54.
How many does New Mexico have? It's about the same damn color, maybe a little
Yeah.
lighter. 47. Yeah, we're pretty low on the list.
And what was Texas again?
321.
321.
Oh,
They blew
my.
they blew everybody out of the water.
Like
Everything's
the next
bigger.
in line is California. What's California got again? 200 and something? What was that?
198.
And California's
198.
got
That's a big jump.
and 10 times the population of Texas too.
Well, the
Yes.
population doesn't matter if it's per capita.
Well,
You know,
that's
it's already
yeah.
ratioed
That's
based
true.
on the population.
That's
go
true.
back up to the top or the bottom.
Yeah, keep
Go
going
back
down to
up
the
to the
bottom. There's
bottom.
more. Okay, what's that one? Per capita offenders per 100,000. Whoa!
I thought that's what we just
Damn, Alaska. South. I don't know. I'm confused.
did.
Oh, it's just another chart. It's just a different chart. But
Yeah.
that doesn't. No. Okay. Hold on. That's right. Hold on. 80% of the top 10 highest number of offenders per capita are Republican states. 100% of the top 10 lowest number of offenders per capita are Democratic/swing states. 60% of the top 10 highest number of offenders. Scroll down just a little bit for me there. 60% of the top 10 highest number of offenders per capita are the most religious states. 90% of the top 10 lowest number of offenders per capita are the least religious states. Lowest number of offenders per capita is Massachusetts, which is Democratic, and the highest Republican per capita is South Dakota, ranked 16th most religious. And the lowest number of offenders per capita, Massachusetts, is ranked 50th, the least religious. So if you hate religion, move to Massachusetts.
And as George Takei would say, oh my.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh my.
And
That's
the
pretty
end of the
good.
charts.
Thanks. What else do we have? Is there anything else?
It's just
That's
just the data
Just
stuff.
her references and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
peeps, you can download all those pages, for no charge or anything from her site. And if you're so concerned, you could take the time to read them and maybe memorize important points from them for when you hear people spreading the bullshit, of trans people and drag queens being the sexual offenders when we're just fucking not.
Ox, the 3 snaps in a Z formation is not women. That's for gay men. So that's a gay man snap, not a woman snap.
I was wondering about those charts, though, about sexual offenses against children. If they even count the places that allow marriages to minors, like in Tennessee. Tennessee, it's still legal to marry someone as young as 14 if you've got the parents' consent.
Which is sick and demented. But anyways,
Well, it's the numbers are based on only actual police or court reports, not guessing.
Yeah.
I would consider a 14-year-old girl being made to marry a 30-year-old man to be an offense there. But yeah, that's not going to be on the police report.
I agree completely. And it's just tragic that we are living in a society where we actually have to think about things like that.
Well, and in most cases that happens because there has already been a sexual assault and the girl is pregnant.
Yeah, marry your rapist.
Well, that's what the Bible says.
Oh my. Yes, it does. Yep. And it's the woman's fault. It's always a woman's fault.
Well, it says she's damaged goods, so nobody else is going to want her.
What about men that get raped?
Oh, they don't matter.
Oh, no, that's all right. They're still a man. They still have a penis. It doesn't count. You're right. My bad.
And remember, the Bible
says tomatoes and watering them, and it looks like it's going to storm. Go ahead, Jenny.
The Bible says that if a woman gives birth to a man, that's kind of a dirty thing. But if they give birth to a woman or a girl, they're twice as filthy.
Yep. Yeah. If
agree,
it's a
Carrie.
female child, she has to isolate for twice as long to be clean.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, it is definitely the most immoral tome. Kill people, kill children, marry them, use them as concubines. It's fine.
Do any of you know who Walter Masterson is?
Oh my God, I love Walter Masterson. I follow him on YouTube.
For those who don't, he's a guy who goes around to various political situations and trolls, and tapes it, videotapes it. Well, I guess not tape anymore, is it? Videos.
The guy who
quick
threw a
example.
Bible in at the book burning.
He I don't know. He goes to people that are protesting outside of abortion clinics. This is one of the stunts he's pulled. He went down and he printed off a bunch of adoption forms. And he said, okay, here where you guys don't want us to have abortions, you guys adopt them. And they were all like, no. And he's like, why? You want the baby? You can adopt it. Here, just fill out this form. It only takes like 10 minutes. It was great. But
yeah, I heard about that one.
The one that I heard most recently is his. He went to some school board meeting where they're talking about banning books and stuff, and he, picked the juicy phrases and chapters and verses out of the Bible, and said, "Look, listen, we have to ban this book. Listen what it has. Let me just do some reading from this book." And he read the juicy stuff, and then he never actually said it was the Bible. But he read some of the juicy stuff that people generally just know, who are any kind of religious people. Right. So he never had to say it's the Bible. People knew it. That's what he was talking about. And it was really very, very well done.
Awesome. I'll have to watch that one.
I saw the adoption form one they did.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Did you see the guy leaning against the wall with the hat and the trench coat looking like he was about to flash somebody that he talked to? He tried to hand him an adoption form. The guy just kept staring in front of him and at the ground. Yeah, he looked like a fucking God. He looked literally like he was out to flash some children. That's what he looked like he was there for. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is BS. Yeah, steal, lie, massacre, run from accountability for your crimes, etc. Yes, that is the religious way. What religion are you? I am not. Do you believe in God? No. Okay, we will kill you. Now believe in God or you will die. There's no hate like religious love. Oh, Carrie Ann. Oh, do you since you grow tomatoes and Mage, you do too as well, right? You grow tomatoes?
Try to, at least.
Carrie,
do either one of you make fried green tomatoes?
I haven't fried them.
Carrie, could you send me one of those tomatoes?
Good. Yeah, right. They're so good.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between the homegrown ones and the ones you get at the grocery store.
Yeah, the ones that you get at the grocery store are grown for shelf life, not flavor.
Yep.
Well, they do a very good job of that.
But you have, is my point. Like, you guys have tried fried green tomatoes, right? Because they're delicious.
No.
Oh my God, Jenny, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. It's not a northern dish.
I usually just go with a little bit of dressing and mozzarella on a slice of tomato.
The first time I ever heard of it was the movie.
Both my parents were from the north, and my mom made fried green tomatoes, so that's no excuse.
Because at the end of the growing season, we would go pick our green tomatoes off the plants and wrap them in newspaper and put them in a bushel basket, and they ripen slowly on their own.
Yep.
Just keep them away from apples.
If you say it's religious, yeah, you'll get away with it. It's fine.
Yep, Jesus took the wheel. I wasn't responsible.
You also want to keep them away from bananas.
Yeah, like Carrie said, in their minds, yes, 100% legal. Yeah.
What's that gas they put out? Ethyl in the ketones. No,
Close enough.
Fuck word that was.
methyl ethyl in the ketones was a rock band back in the 50s, 60s.
Are you serious?
Yeah, everybody's into cars back then, and methyl ethyl is a fuel, and the ketones.
Again.
Okay.
Ethylene.
Although I do remember when the gas pumps had one labeled ethyl.
Yeah, methyl ethyl in the ketones.
The cop said in court, "I'm not guilty. God is my judge." Are you fucking kidding me? How does he think it's okay with God if his God is so fucking loving?
What cop was that, Carrie?
Because he was killing people that God said to kill.
Maybe Trump should try that.
Yeah, Carrie, what case was this?
I think Trump's in enough hot water. I don't think he needs to try any other shit. They put a gag order on him yesterday. He's not allowed to talk about anything now, and he's going to, and they're going to throw his ass in jail.
Gag order? I
I
heard they put a partial gag order on him.
I don't know. It was yesterday. I started watching it and then saw you were live, and I didn't watch the rest of it. Brian Taylor
had to do with the some bullshit he said about the clerk.
Yeah, it's about time he did, because he had already been making threats about the judge and about other, officers of the court.
Y'all know there's a formal organized effort in the Congress to name Donald Trump as Speaker.
I'd heard
if he's
a rumor
Speaker, he
about
can't be
that.
president.
I didn't think it was serious.
They got to pick one.
It's dead serious.
I saw the report. I haven't watched the video on that yet, so I don't know too
so
much
it's
about
just
what's
a
going on.
question of if they could get enough votes for it.
Well, that would explain the people that were going against McCarthy, because they're Trump ass kissers.
So how many votes do they need then to put a new speaker in?
223, I think.
Yeah, is it just 50%?
Yeah, 51.
Yeah, 51%, right?
But right now the Republicans have less than 50% in the House, so they would have to somehow get a couple of Democrats to vote for it.
Yeah,
like
there's
like
only 218 Republicans and there's 215 Democrats right now.
Like how they got Kevin out.
I think that's the other way around, Beck. I think that there were a couple more Democrats than there were Republicans now.
No, ma'am.
After
more.
last year's election.
No, there's 3 more in the House than there is Democrats, because that's the numbers. I was watching the vote yesterday, and the numbers that they ended with were 218, 215.
Yeah, but there were some who didn't vote.
Well, no, that was hold on.
Oh no, yeah, okay. I guess you're right. I thought the Democrats had pulled a small majority after the last election, but I guess not.
No, that's what all the problems are.
Yeah, I think that was Congress or Senate or something we have more of, but not in the House. Yeah.
Well, the majority party always names the speaker.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's why we ended up with the Republicans.
Okay, 221 Republicans and 212 Democrats.
There you go. Okay, those are literal numbers.
And to bounce Kevin out of office, all the Democrats voted for getting him out of the office, and then just barely the number of Republicans needed to make the total 51.
It was 2, I believe.
No,
I
I
think there
had
was
heard
two
it was
that-
like
two
8
or 3.
Republicans voted with the Democrats to get rid of him.
No, they were going to, but after they debated, they changed their mind, and there was literally the exact number they needed to win. They won
y'all
by
see that-
one fucking vote.
That little Nazi who was the interim speaker?
Oh, the chick?
No,
Or
the
oh, you're
guy.
talking about the dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he looks
yeah.
like he's about 4'10".
Mm-hmm.
And how he whacked that gavel like he was killing somebody. It was just holy fuck, dude. You got some anger issues, huh?
Nope, I've got it here. 8 Republicans who voted to remove McCarthy. It even names them.
Oh, okay. Damn, I must have misunderstood something that was going on during the stream then. Because that's not what I thought they said. Of course, I was high and playing a video game at the same time, so I will claim ignorance on that part. Yeah, there was. No, you're right, because there were supposed to be like 10 or 11 of them, and like 3 or 4 or whatever voted nay instead of yay on it. I can't remember who it was, but there was just a small portion of Matt Gates's group that didn't. Most of them did. Maybe that's what I was thinking. There was 3 that
it
didn't.
was a
and I was
surprise. It
thinking
happened
3 that
very
did.
quickly.
Yeah.
So how would you people feel if Trump actually won Speaker?
Oh god, that'd
Shoot
be
my
scary.
fucking left foot.
What's worse, him as speaker or is him as president?
I think they're pretty equally bad. An ignorant person in that position of speaker could really, really fuck things up. The Speaker of the House has to be one of the top-notch people in parliamentary law.
You guys do know that Trump's not going to take that, right? No, I'm meant to be president. I'm not going to be Speaker of the House. I'm president.
Well, I
President
think
Trump.
the main job of
He's
the
never
speaker
going to lower himself.
doesn't the speaker get to decide the agenda, so he basically decides which bills they're going to vote on.
Yeah, but he's not going to see it like that. He's going to see it as the president has the most power. That's what I want to be, because that's who he is. I don't think he's going to take the speakership, even if they ask him to do it. He's not going to do it.
Oh,
that
no,
is way too low.
He would jump at it. It's power.
I don't think so.
It's power. It's the highest level of power you can get in that branch of government.
Well, I understand that, but in Trump's eyes, president is number one. He wants to be huge.
Well, he can do that too. He can do that too. He's only speaker until the next election. Yeah. I mean, not both jobs at the same time, but he can do the speaker now and the president later.
Speaker until the next election, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I hope they find something on him that prevents him from ever holding a political office again. You know, I mean, we all know he's done it. It's just a matter of what they can find enough evidence to convict him on.
There is really, with all the evidence they have against Trump, there is no reason that man should not be rotting in a jail cell soon. There is absolutely, literally, but he follows the same laws as any other fucking citizen. And right now, he is a citizen. So there is no reason for him to not go to jail.
A lot of people have been in calling me about speaker. All I can say is we will do whatever is best for the country and the Republican Party. We have some great people. Well, a lot of people have asked me about it. If I can help them during this process, so I would do it. But we have some great people in the Republican Party who would do a great job as speaker.
Yeah, if Trump really wanted to do anything for the Republican Party, the best thing he could do is say that he doesn't want to run for president, so he doesn't risk splintering the vote.
That he would never do.
No, he would never do it. But I mean, you know, what Mage was just reading, they said he wanted to do whatever was best for the party. No, he doesn't. He wants to do whatever's best for him. Fuck the party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has actually said that he won't split the party, but who knows if he actually would go through with, screw
He
him.
will. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't try to run, he would still get enough people that would consider him, start a campaign to have him as a write-in candidate.
And sure, do you know about Tiny URL? For those who don't know, Tiny URL is this little website that if you take a really big, long URL that's like 4 or 5 lines, and you feed it into this website, it gives you an abbreviation of it that works, that you can then paste into various things that can't stand something as big as the original.
Sometimes
thing.
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, I'll believe you, but I've never had a problem with it.
I've seen a lot of people using it. I haven't tried to use it myself.
Oh, it's been around for years and years.
Yeah, I've had to use it a few times with the with a game I play with, getting some links to get some free stuff out of the game. But I think Google has a link shortener as well.
Yeah, but who wants Google?
Well, YouTube, as long as you have 100 subscribers, it basically will let you choose your own shorter YouTube channel name.
Oh, 100? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
You only have to get to 100, then you can go into your YouTube studio and you can change it.
Actually, I think I might have been actually a little bit less than 100 when they gave me the option.
Well, when I got it, 100 was the limit you need to get to. They may have changed it since then.
Well, I've got 187 people who are subscribers to my YouTube channel that has never put out anything.
Well,
you should be able to.
Yeah, go to the YouTube studio. You should have the option to claim your unique channel name.
Maybe I should.
Although in my case,
I have two YouTube accounts, and one I was using back when I was still doing video editing and things, and I had a couple of videos up on that. Maybe I should just transfer them over and then say, "Look, I do have content."
Yeah.
Right.
One's a 22-minute video. Car stuff.
Car stuff.
Yeah.
Not from Jenny. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Sorry.
Really? Car stuff?
Yeah.
I know it's shocking, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that.
Mention a car.
Characters. But I think that my custom YouTube channel name may be longer than the original one. Because making it Purple Rhymes with Orange may have actually been more characters than the one that was randomly generated.
But the good thing about doing that is when someone can just search you and put like in the search bar YouTube Purple Rhymes with Orange in Google, and your channel will pop up. That's why it's so great to do that.
Well, that's part of why I took about 3-4 months to pick a name, because anything I came up with, I kept entering into YouTube, to see if it was a duplicate or to see where it turned up in the search. And Purple Rhymes with Orange showed up as being the top one in the search.
Huh. Interesting.
Because I know that if yours doesn't show up on the first page of the search, nobody's going to bother to look any further.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, for your new name, you could just call it Purple Rhymes.
Well, I've had to abbreviate it on other things. Like on Twitter, it's just Purple W Orange. And on Blue Sky, it's just Purple Orange. Because some of them don't allow enough characters for the name. Yeah, unique is very important if you're trying to put something online and you want people to find it. I also wanted something that people would be able to spell, because a lot of people have done ones that it's a good name, but to make it unique, they, like slightly misspell something or they put a number in there or something.
I think rhymes is on that list of most difficult to spell words for most people.
Yeah.
It is weird, isn't it?
Not
Yeah, I
once
don't
you
know what
get
the
it in
H
your head.
there is doing. It should get the H out of there.
No, the H belongs there. You're just pronouncing it wrong. It's rhymes, not rhymes. It's rhymes. That's
Yeah,
like
well,
words that like what, where that are WH are supposed to be pronounced reversed. Where, what? Did you know that?
No.
no. And anybody who pronounces them that way gets beat up on the playground.
That may be true, but it is a fact. I'm not making this one up. Well, maybe I am.
Okay, Aunt Jer wants us to talk about this link she sent.
Oh, what link is that?
Understand state statutes on minimum marriage age and the exceptions.
Oh,
This looks like a rather long document. Yeah, this is 60 pages.
Ooh.
So we don't really have time to go through all of this.
Can we get some highlights?
Somebody who's already read it would have to give us some highlights here.
Can we get the abridged version?
Yeah. Okay, well,
change my URL.
basically what it's showing is that for each state, it gives the age and then a couple of paragraphs on if there are exceptions to it. At a glance, how do state laws on minimum age compare? 4 states have age 18 floor, no exceptions. Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota. So age 18 is the minimum. Age 18 is the minimum of a majority of states. 7 states require parties to be legal adults. The only exception to age 18 is court-emancipated minors. Okay, so basically still 18 unless the court has given somebody who's like 16 in emancipation. 9 states have age 17 floor. Okay, 17, maybe. 22 states and Washington, D.C. have age 16 floor. 5 states have age floors below 16. Alaska 14, Hawaii 15, Kansas 15, Maryland 15, and North Carolina 14.
Oh my God. What is wrong with these? They're children still. Still jerking off to the fucking National Geographic. Jesus.
Yeah. 10 states do not set any age floor by statute, though some may suggest an age floor through case law. So basically no minimum age at all. 17 states require minors to get judicial approval so they can marry. So basically they just have to appear before a judge and state why.
Okay.
Okay, 14 states, clerks acting on their own without judges can issue a marriage license to minors. Wisconsin's one of the ones included in that. Only 1 state, Mississippi, sets different conditions for approvals for girls versus boys. Judicial requirement is for all males under age 18, but for females only if they are under 15. All other states' gender difference laws have been repealed. Only 1 state, Maryland, allows marriage of minors younger than age 16 without a judge involved, based only on proof of pregnancy, childbirth, or parental consent. 5 states expressly permit to lower the minimum age Yeah, 5 states expressly permit pregnancy to lower the minimum age.
Jesus.
So basically, if you get the girl pregnant, it doesn't really matter how old she is, and you can marry her. That's only 5 states.
Marry your rapist. Yay.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm up to 642 subscribers. Let me write
And
that
people
down.
and people still think the Republicans are the party of morality.
Yeah.
Well, I am surprised to find that half the states the age is only 16. That's 22 states. That's nearly half of them right there.
That doesn't surprise me too much.
I just assumed 18 was the default, and that there would, only be a dozen or so states that still had arcane laws that were below that.
It should be. Maybe we could make that so on a federal level.
Surprisingly, globally, 16 is generally the age of consent, though there are usually restrictions added onto that.
Well, America is the land of infantilization. Little Vivek boy wants to not let people vote until they're 25, and all the Republicans think that nobody could ever make a decision as serious as a gender issue until they're at least 25, and maybe not even that soon.
Well, Republicans are saying they don't want people to vote until they're 25 because younger voters usually vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So the Republicans are figuring if they can, make it so nobody under 25 can vote, they've got about 9 years to finish their plan to prevent voting altogether.
Yep.
Well, they're only a year away from destroying the.
Well, and that's our hope. Our greatest hope is that in the next election, that the young people will show out in significant numbers to tip the balance. And, I was worried about that. I was very encouraged to hear that Taylor Swift tweeted a thing saying, be prepared to vote. She didn't say anything about a party or any issue. She just said, be prepared to vote. And the website she gave nearly crashed because 35,000 people tried to vote within the next hour.
Register.
Wow.
Yeah, tried to register within the next hour. So, yeah, she's getting her fans riled up about voting.
I think now that the Republicans
do that.
I think now that the Republicans have come out and said that she's ugly and does lousy music, that she should say, okay, well, fuck you, and start recommending a candidate who happens to be blue, and watch the Swifties turn the election tide.
Well, I think rather than mentioning candidates, I think she should just mention issues that matter to young people. Like the fact that Biden wanted to excuse a lot more student debt and the Republicans canceled it.
Temporarily, he found another legal path in the federal government to forgive some more loans, and they're doing that now.
Yeah, but what he's managing to push through is still only like a third of what he originally tried to do. So he wanted to extend it so a lot more people were eligible.
Interestingly enough, Taylor Swift was considered for the role of Dazzler in one of the X-Men movies. She would have been pretty good too. Unfortunately, they couldn't get her.
I don't know whether or not she can act.
Well,
she does. She does pretty well in her music videos.
Oh yeah, she puts on a good stage show.
Yeah, it wouldn't have taken her much acting considering what they had to do for the role. She would have just had to have basically danced and sang.
Okay, yeah.
Did you know that she
good stage show? She can dance.
Yeah.
Did you know that Did you know that she writes, produces, and directs many of her videos herself?
No, I did not.
I knew she wrote most of them.
Yeah, she can do every fucking thing on earth. She's just amazing. God, I love that kid.
Mhm.
Oh,
maybe I
real
should-
quick McCarthy joke. Stephen Colbert, The Late Show, called it Speaker of the Oust. I just thought it was funny.
Okay, that's funny.
I like it.
Making a living something you need credit to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
It's another thing that Biden is pushing now that will drastically improve the credit of a lot of people. Is he is trying to make it so that medical debts cannot appear on your credit record and cannot affect your credit score.
That would be a major achievement. I know that
That
my
would be good.
credit score hit the toilet because of my medical debt.
Yeah, well, that would definitely boost mine up quite a bit too.
Fun fact is if you do not pay on that medical debt, it will drop off in 7 years. I've done it.
Well,
I
it's
had
been
a $15,000
it's been 13, so
$15,000 debt. Yeah, well, I had a $15,000 debt with doctors in 2005 when they saved my life with my whole kidney thing, and I couldn't pay them. And by 2013, it was gone.
Yeah,
So-
at 40 hours a week, you should be able to pay for a one-bedroom apartment and have enough for food and utilities.
Yeah, without struggling.
did you see what John Oliver did about medical debt once? He did one of his lovely 20-minute soliloquies on medical debt as his comedy thing that day, and at the end of it, he said that their show. I should preface during the talk, he's talking about the hospital creates the bill. You don't pay it. They send it to this collection guy, who sends it to this collection guy, who sends it to this collection guy, and down the chain. Because they don't want to be hung with a debt that can't be paid, so they sell it to the next guy for less than they paid for it. 20 cents on the dollar. Now it's going to be 10 cents on the dollar. And what he did is round up a bunch of accounts that needed to be paid that were being sold for like 10 cents on the dollar or something like that, and bought a huge number of them and just forgave them all.
Nice.
Because
Yeah,
even
he
though
bought the debts of several thousand people and ripped them up on stage.
even though you're not on the credit report anymore with that, the debt is still collectible. Unless you move to Minnesota and then they don't know where you live anymore.
Randy Rainbow, Speaker of the House.
Oh no, really?
Okay, somebody has to tell me what this is.
Well, Randy Rainbow. Oh, why don't we play it on the air? Why can't we? He gives everybody permission to use his stuff however we want.
We can. We got permission.
I think that's his whole gig. I've never seen or heard of him sell anything.
Okay, well, if you're sure there isn't a copyright on it.
Well, what's the worst they can do?
Well, they can take all the money I would get for this stream. Ha 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 ha.
And how much might that be?
Yeah, like there's any chance my channel's ever going to be monetized.
Yeah,
I could have 50,000 subscribers and I still won't get monetized.
All right, Stephanie is standing behind us. Let's do it.
Okay, shoot.
Well, son of a bitch.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Sorry, I had to watch the Randy Rainbow song. That's pretty
No,
funny.
I'm trying to bring it. I'm trying to bring it up here for everyone.
Oh, cool.
I'm not quite used to doing this, but I think I can get it.
Oh, we lost Jenny. People who provide our foods are some of the worst treated people in our society. Absolutely. They're considered less than because they just pick food.
Oh, no, that doesn't
I
work.
guess we forgot that we need to eat that food.
Okay, share screen. Oh, okay. There's the share audio thing. Okay. There we go. This should be it. Yep. Now I just need to go the right. Come on.
It's okay, Perps. Take your time. We'll wait. We're here for it.
Yeah, where's the tab that was opening?
Agreed, Carrie. Agreed.
Here.
Yeah, it's like once it opened it to share, it's not showing any of my tabs anymore.
That's weird. Your main tab for that should be the one that's open. I think she's back.
Did you say you've got it, Midge?
Well, I got it pulled up on the screen.
Okay. Well, Midge, you'll have to do it. I can't figure out why this isn't working for me.
Oh, you can't find. Okay, I got it. So you need me to do it. Okay.
Yeah, her
Oh,
tab
there.
disappeared after she brought it up. She couldn't.
There it is.
Hit play.
I found it now, but if Mage just got it, let Mage do it.
Alright.
Jenny wants to come in fucking, I guess.
Mage is competent, unlike me.
I'm in now.
That must be nice.
This is another one of the avatars that Aunt Jer generated on the AI.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should all have AI to make us look 20, 30 years younger.
Yeah, hey?
Let's see here. Which
and
one was
and,
it
and
that-
much cuter.
Whatever, Jenny.
All the crap I missed out on because I couldn't transition earlier.
Yeah. We
I'm
all
not allowed to wear an exposed midriff or short skirts.
Well, like,
Wear wherever the hell you want. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, you
see
can
here.
if you want.
Yeah, well, Sloth Girl gets after me if it's not age appropriate.
Not since
Oh,
when
okay.
Paltrow's
Yeah.
2002
Okay, here we are.
awards dress has a decision-making process so grueling produced a result as god-awful as my next guest, barely elected Speaker of the House, Kevin McFuckhead. Kevin, how's it going?
Well, I feel the first week has been very productive. First, we've got a very good rules package that
Right.
empowers
Okay,
all
let's
men-
cut the shit. You've been handing out important committee assignments to election deniers, QAnon conspiracy theorists, pathological liars, and third-rate drag queens. Tell us, how else do you plan to drag this country down to the fiery pits of hell?
We should start every day. How can we be more efficient? How can we deliver a more effective to the American public? And how can we do it in a more secure way that we don't
Right
spend
there.
as much?
Please wrap it up.
Why would we sit back and be so arrogant to say, no, there's no waste in government?
Speaking of no waste, Donald Trump continues to influence
And
much
here's
of
the
your
song.
party. What is your response to those who say you're nothing more than a bootlicking, hypocritical, orange-nosed little puppet?
Well, first, let's just take a pause. Let's sit down together. Let's look at the places that we can change our behavior.
Welcome, monsieur. Sit yourself down and watch the wackest shit show in town. What an ordeal. Some GOP, more like the Real Housewives of DC. Thought his goose was cooked.
A speaker has not been elected.
Thought his dreams were tossed. This slimy, climby man boy who damn near lost.
Let's just take a pause. I don't believe that's the case because
Speaker of the House, cunning little chap. Cover is conservative and full of crap. Thirsty as a fish, quick to compromise. Only took the motherfucker 15 tries. No one at the
Okay.
office likes him, and he's never dressed too nice. His suits come off the rack at Marshall's, and his gavel's Fisher Price. Speaker of the House, doling out the bribes. Lost so much he's giving Susan Lucci vibes. Pissing off the left, paying off the right, pushing an agenda of revenge and spite. Never will he lead this circus, moral power hungry whore. Think they hated Nancy, can't see why they wouldn't hate you more. They hate you. There's lots of assholes in the house. Don't save us from the GOP. So much much for our democracy. Sayonara. Thanks to these assholes in the House. Look at how they spat. Look at how they spat. Listen to them cheer. I'll eat my MAGA hat if they last 1 year. Elon Musk, the Speaker of the House, choosing every stop. But he had to blow to finally get that job. Losing every bet, pushing all his luck. Shamelessly indebted to his favorite truck. Chucking any hopes of grandeur. Suckering the working class. Hurling out concessions, questions will it bite him in the ass.
I will never give up.
Chaos in the house, imbecilic scum. Robert doesn't even know what state she's from. Marjorie's a mess, Matt's a ticking bomb. Stanton says he's Ariana Grande's mom. Everybody's lost their marbles. Everybody's headed on the side, the nuts, by the nuts. Never was a weaker, Stazzy, status seeker, squeaker like the sorry little putz. How long did he take to win it?
15 times.
Lowering the bar, creeping up the ranks, winning margins tighter than a pair of skanks. What divine humiliation! What a wretched middle class! Everybody lift a cheek.
Girl, I give you one more week.
Everybody lift a cheek to the Speaker of the House.
I will never give up.
Shut up.
You know what I love about that? That was done 8 months ago. It was
Give him all
so
credit there.
predictive. It's ridiculous.
This guy is such a master. He's just
Yeah,
I
amazing.
never heard of him before. That's the first.
You're
Really?
kidding.
Nope.
I've seen
He's
him
got a lot of
somewhere,
good
but I
stuff.
wasn't subbed to him.
I've seen him on Twitter quite often. Some
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you can fall down the Randy Rainbow rabbit hole, and you'll be there for days. He's got so much good stuff.
Well, what I usually do when I'm sharing something, I'll usually put it into a separate window. Makes it easier to find.
Wonder why a guy like Randy Rainbow, who's obviously very talented, why isn't he doing some major gig somewhere? Or maybe he is, and we just don't know.
Maybe he is on the side, and I mean, maybe he is as a main thing, and this is just his like side gig. We don't know.
No,
Well, also, if he speaks
Google
his
him.
mind too much, he may have trouble, working with people in the business enough to actually get booked somewhere.
he's got his own website here.
He sure does. RandyRainbow.com. I was just looking him up. Randy Rainbow for President, live on tour. Oh,
Oh,
he
tour.
does comedy tours. There.
Okay.
Oh yes. Oh no, he does. He sings. It's comedy songs. Send me
Yeah.
your song request. He has a book out called "Playing with Myself," an intimate and lighthearted
Oh.
memoir by viral sensation, 3-time Emmy-nominated musical comedian Randy Rainbow that takes readers through his life, the highs, the lows, the lipstick, the pink glasses, and the show tunes.
Yeah, Stephanie says he won a Grammy.
Yeah. It's three-time Emmy nominated. Yeah, and then won a Grammy. Little Brains, a Little Talent is his music studio album, whatever. Here, I will put a link in the chat for anyone that wants it.
Yes, yeah.
That's his .com, has everything on it.
Okay,
Does there-
cool.
Yeah, we did our part. We got
And he's actually
word
around
on.
me. He's going to be in Denver, Colorado, and 2 places in Arizona, and 2 places in California in October. Going to Connecticut, DC. I guess he goes everywhere. New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Canada.
He's never been to Houston, Minnesota. Of course, we don't have an auditorium. Well, we have the high school.
I was gonna say, doesn't your high school have a gymnasium?
I would think it does.
He's going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on December 9th.
Oh man,
Yep. That's the only place he's not going to be in Minnesota, but yep, he'll be in Wisconsin.
does it say which theater he's at?
Hold on, let me
Well,
find him.
Wisconsin falls under the heading of when they say Greater Minnesota.
Milwaukee, Saturday, December 9th. Riverside Theater, 116 West Wisconsin Avenue.
Oh, okay. That used to be a movie house.
I do not know how much.
It's right next to the Milwaukee River. It's a very nice location. It's actually a real good place to shoot city scenes. for indie films and things.
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. Okay. It's actually only like $62 to go see him. That's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
plus the 100 or so to get there and back.
Well, that's that's the expensive part. But anyways,
are we gonna be wrapping this up soon, or?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get off
I
there
was
soon.
about to say that, but I think that we should wrap this up here. And yeah, we're almost at the 3-hour mark anyway.
Well, okay.
So, anybody have
Fine.
anything they want to plug before we go?
Mage? Jenny?
Yes.
Either way.
Sunday. Shit, it's either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern. I think it's 9 o'clock Eastern. I will be on Maya Atkinson's show.
9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then it would be
I'll be
8:30
with you.
Central.
Yep.
You're going to be there too? Oh no, really?
She must have paired us up for some reason. She didn't even tell me you were going to be on it.
Yeah, she did the same thing to me when I was on. She didn't tell me that Bree was going to be on there and just, outshine me and everything.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. I'm on with Jenny. I'm not going to be able to say anything intelligent because she's going to outshine me. Good night, Robert X. Sleep well. Good to see you, buddy.
Good night, Robert. Thanks for helping with the trolls.
I'll take some stupid pills first.
Thank you, Jenny. I would really appreciate that so we can be on the same level.
On Maya's shows, I do highly recommend strong alcohol for everybody watching those shows.
Oh boy,
my God, the bad science she has. You know what I think it's funny is it's BS Sunday, and she does bad science. So I think it's hilarious.
Would you like
I don't
some
know if anybody's
bullshit
realized that
vinaigrette with
yet.
your word salad?
Okay, let Jenny talk.
I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, okay. I just saw your circle pulse. So I thought you were trying to say something.
No, I'm just
since
masturbating a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I enjoy that. Since we're shilling, yeah, so Jenny and I, Maya Atkinson's channel, if you do not have, everybody here has the link and is subscribed. But if you don't, let us know. We'll make sure you find her. At 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. But before that, at 4:20 p.m. Eastern every Sunday, I will be doing my stream. So you guys come over and hang out with me. I usually end about it's anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour-ish before Maya's stream, and then everybody can go, eat dinner and take a shit, shower, whatever you need to do. Get a drink and find your pot because you're going to need it for bad science.
I like how, the name of her show is Bad Science, but she never tells you what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, science is and that's why it's such a good category to label it under. Because there's so much bad shit out there when it comes to science.
I had specifically asked her to let me be on anytime they were talking about lake monsters. Because actually it was doing a term paper on lake monsters when I was in high school that partially, it was one of the things that led to my deconversion. It made me question things that I read a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene's one of her latest quotes about evolution and how the dragons were on Earth and then they all disappeared, but there's probably some still alive somewhere on Earth, and
well, they're inside the hollow Earth,
and that's what the Bible says. The dinosaurs are just what came after the dragons. So she doesn't know much about time either.
Okay.
Apparently. Margarine trailer cream, that is great on her. Wait a minute, I heard one yesterday that was hilarious. It was oh my God. Okay, you guys have to give me a minute to think of it.
I love that answer.
Who was it?
Bleach blonde temporal lobe seizure. Still my favorite.
Are any of you familiar with that bust that was made of a Neanderthal woman? It circulates around once in a while. I'll bring one next week and I'll post it up for y'all. It looks exactly like her.
I hadn't seen the one
Like
with the
Marjorie
woman.
Taylor Greene?
Yeah, it was made years ago before she was ever on the scene.
Yeah.
And it looks
Because she
just
still
like
has
her.
those Cro-Magnon features. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, it looks like her. I mean, it looks like her, like they could be sisters.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
And
I
that was
hadn't
from
seen
what
the one of
era?
the woman. I saw the bust they made of what they thought a Neolithic man was, and it looked like it was a sculpture of Andre the Giant.
Might have been. Some of these are fake.
Okay, Mage, you got anything to plug? You got any videos coming out?
I just gotta work on a garden tour here, and I actually gotta get some stuff started in my garden before I film the tour. But there's my link to my site.
Gardens
I'm
happen. I love it, Mage.
I'm still at 191 subscribers, so if you can get me up past 200, that'd be nice. I am kind of thinking of maybe doing some speculative cryptid gardening, where I do like fake some cryptid type plants and just kind of do a speculative kind of thing on it.
Right.
I might do that for Halloween. So that's what I got planned.
Cool. That sounds good, Mage. Looking forward to it. I like your garden videos. I don't know. Am I sub to you?
You should be.
I think I am. I meant to your other.
No point in subbing. No point in subbing to the Mage Grey Wolf account. That I don't really put anything on there.
Okay, folks,
Well,
I have an
that's
emergency
definitely the
here,
one that
so
I'm
Mage, you've
subscribed
got
to.
to finish this off.
I do.
Okay, I just want to say one sentence
Bye-bye.
before we go then. Everybody take note of Aunt Cher. She's really a very brilliant woman, and she just doesn't show herself enough. She's really very, very smart, and you just got to get to know her. She's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I guess we're ending
Jerry's
that.
great. Okay. I am now subscribed to Gardens Happen.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll put the
Well, thanks everybody. I guess Purple had to run off, but thanks for having me on. Either way.
I guess that's it. Oh, see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't get
All right.
caught.
Peace out.